Major B on the track.
Yeah.
Baby mama terrorist. BMT. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coke. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coat. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. Riding around, try to play the role as innocent with an evil soul. In public, wearing fake hellos. Behind closed doors, she rock them horns. I moved on, she wanna teach me a lesson. Can't see my kids, man, I'm stressing. Couldn't see my son to give me his present. She got married to teach me a lesson. Telling people she did nothing wrong. Knowing that well since I moved on. Thought that money would keep me home. Hell no, bitch, I'm gone. I don't know what you lost your mind. Try to say my name, but I know your kind. Saying I'm a deadbeat, bitch, you lying. Fighting in court, man, I'm trying to be a father to my kids. She focus on the wrong shit, worried about another being instead of us co-parenting. Put my kids in grown folks' business, telling them lies, bitch, you wicked. Split personality, oh yeah, you twisted. Never thought I'd go through this. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coat. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coat. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coat. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coat. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups.
All stand, please. Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. This honorable court now stands adjourned, sine die. God save the state and this honorable court.
Yeah. You may be seated up in this courtroom. Shout out to the Baby Mama Terrorist Bounty Hunters. I'm your host, Mr. Palmer, and we're going to talk about today is a baby mama terrorist who alienate the father out the picture because he did not want to be with her. He still wanted to live his life. He didn't want a relationship. He wanted to take care of his son, but he just didn't want no relationship. He still wanted to be able to run around and do what he do. And because of that, she purposely alienated the man out the picture. How long did she alienate the man out the picture? She did it for 15 years. I think it was 15 years. And now the boy is 16 years old, giving her the flux, causing havoc, talking back, disrespectful and everything else. So now she want him to come back and be a father. And let me explain something to you baby mama terrorists. Y'all do not give a fuck about your child. Y'all do not. These low-lifted ass baby mama terrorists only care about themselves. They selfish. And many, many times, all these years, a lot of fathers are alienated out the picture because he didn't want her, or they're not together no more, or they got divorced, or because he moved on with his life. And because of that, that child is punished. That child suffers. The child have a lack of. You can't make this shit up, but then people sit back and tell me that, nah, it's because he ain't do what he was supposed to do. And you have many baby mama terrorists who sit back and say, he left us. He did not want us. He abandoned us. That's the bullshit they use, and a lot of people go for that narrative. No, he left you. And because he leaves, he's punished. But what these baby mama terrorists don't realize, why you think you hurting a man, don't get me wrong. If the father care and love that child, yes, he hurting, he trying to fight. Even if he watch his hands move on, he still hurt. But the person you really hurt is that child. Because you got to remember, the father that's not in the picture, yeah, they hurt, they suffer, but They live their lives. They have no choice. They grown. They've been there, done that. They're not a child that need a parent. That child needs a parent, both parents. And when you alienate one because of personal issues and bad breakups and divorces, you set that child up for failure. And it's your fault that that child acts a fool, drop out of school, talk back, do the bullshit he do. That's your fault. And the sad part about it is the fact they will never take no accountability. They will say it's the man's fault. And society will say it's the man's fault. But that's why we're here to expose the truth. And then you get mad when the man say, I'm not going to kiss your ass, wash my hands and walk away, pay my child support and move on. And then you still in your feelings because you got what you wanted. He got the child support. He went on about his business. He's not harassing you. He's not driving, popping up and none of that shit. But yet you still mad and bitter. This motherfucker was bitter with this dude for over about 15 years. And now all of a sudden, you want him to come back and take care of his son. How the fuck is a man gonna come at a 16, 17-year-old to take care of his son? Once a kid get about 10 to 13, he or she is already who they're gonna be. And when you talking about coming in a boy's life at 16, it's too late. 9 times out of 10, it's too late. You can talk that shit all you want. You fucked up. All because the man didn't want your funky ass. And that's why I'm calling this shit out. And I will say this. She came on a radio show, Streets 94.5 morning takeover show. People who don't know what that is, that's Young Jock, from Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta. A young lady by the name of Mo Quick. And then you got Shotty or comedian Shotty. I talked to him off and on, comedian Shotty, off and on when I first started my Instagram, fuck child support. And even he got a situation. I ain't seen his son in a couple of years, due to the same thing, alienation. And it really hurt him with the situation of this video, of this talk, because the woman called that morning telling her story. She even admits that she alienated him because he left us. He didn't want to be with us. Yep, the 94.5 morning takeover show. So shout out to them for doing an interview. And then they actually had the father come on. It's only a 3-minute clip. And then I want us to talk about this because I want to know, do y'all really think that he was wrong? Do you think that the baby mama Tara is wrong? Would you go back in the situation after 15 years? Or would you say fuck it and wash your hands and move on? I want to talk about this. I would definitely want to have a dialogue. Because some people may say, yes, 15 years, but now he got his chance to be around his son. And then you're going to have some say, 16 years, he's fucked up. He ain't going to be stunning your motherfucking ass, and he's not going to change for you. So I wash my hands and move on. And then you're going to have others say that, of course, it's his fault because he should have just stayed and dealt with whatever he was dealing with over there. You're going to have those. We're going to dialogue and talk this shit in a respectful manner. We got to learn from each other. In my opinion, like I said, I've seen it too many times. The man alienated out the picture. And then 16, 17 years, you want him to come back when your child support can be over with. And now he's saying, fuck you. And you want him to come out here and be a father and whoop his ass and everything else. And he don't even know him. That's actually some nerve. And what father gonna come in trying to whoop his son ass that he ain't even raised? He's damaged goods. And 9 times out of 10, especially a boy, you ain't gonna be able to change that narrative. So yeah, we're gonna talk about this. And I'm just letting y'all know this shit is real because a lot of y'all can relate that, the only time the baby mama Tara's call y'all when the boy, especially a boy, 16, 17, 18 years old, and they saying, hey, I need help with him. He don't want to listen. He don't want to do this and that. Now that it's close towards the end of child support. And the sad part about it, these baby mama Tara's will let their son get murdered and killed and still won't let the man have custody or have temporary custody. I had a brother I did an interview with last year, SD Booker. Shout out to him. He'll be back on here. He begged, pleaded his baby mama Tara to have his son. His son was in the streets, robbing, gang banging, everything else. And on Mother's Day, he got murdered. All because she wouldn't let him take custody. She was so selfish, talking about, well, that's still my baby, but you caught him complaining about him going in and out of jail, not going to school, gang banging and robbing people. And he begged, and that boy got murdered on Mother's Day. He tried to rob somebody, he got murdered, justified homicide. This was in Arizona. I did an interview with him a year ago when I started my YouTube. I'm having to come back and do a part 2. Even he had a situation, not knowing his father. Met him when he was grown, and now that's something she gotta endure for the rest of her life. She tried to actually blame him when he got murdered. Ain't that a bitch? I shit you not. I shit you not. She tried to find some type of way, but it wasn't no way around that because he begged, asked, pleaded, reached out continuously. And all she did was be selfish and worry about that fucking child support. And now that boy 6 feet in the ground. And he lost his son. She lost her son, but she didn't give a fuck about that son. And y'all know I ain't lying because a lot of y'all is going through that now. Not necessarily that boy's in and out of jail, but at the same time, now he fucked up at school and not doing shit. Now you want to call me. But when y'all had that boy, y'all had the boy doing good in school, respect, earning, learning, everything else. But then soon as she get him back, it's back to the drawing board. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get this started. But before I do that, I want to give a shout out to Supreme. I want to give a shout out to my boy D. I want to give a shout out to this kid's dad, my boy Jaylon, my boy Colin, brother Darkness in the building. We got South Korea eat dogs. Good evening, gentlemen. Greetings from Australia. Shout out to you, my brother. We got Maurice from over east, Chi-Town. We got Sheila E., the Quiet Storm. We got my boy Damian Blake, who's also from Chicago, but moved to Tennessee, Memphis. We got the Hood Conservative. Appreciate you tuning in, man. You be all over YouTube and the manosphere. Shout out to you, my brother. We got my boy Abdul from Houston/Philly up in here. We got my boy, my homie, Dr. Thunder up in the building. Please subscribe to his channel. He's a great brother coming out with that logic and knowledge. Also got to give a shout out to King Mayor, Mr. Hall, JJ Green from Wisconsin. We got B Candy. She's a zip. We got Danny up in here. We got the Dark Knight. We got Bertha Huff. Could not, the father had went to court for custody. Now that's a situation I don't know. I don't know if he tried to fight in court or he just left alone. I mean, I would have went to court and fought it, but I can't say he did or didn't. I would have tried to fight in court and went from that. Then if the courts screw me and everything else, then I would have, wash my hands and move on. Want to give a shout out to United Fitness. For those who don't know who that is, that's my boy that's living in Mexico. Came from New Jersey to Texas to Mexico, and he's really running for child support. $100 donation. He says, pull out your American Express and charge that little nigga to the game. The damage is done at 16 years old. Shout out to you, my brother. We got Nick O in the building. And he says something that I want y'all to see. The reading and math race for black boys are so horrific that it's a national travesty. When your men and boys have no education or money, their fates are sealed. Unreal that no one is surrounded to alarm. Of course, because the baby mama tells ain't gonna give a fuck, and the father ain't around. He don't know shit, and if he did, ain't shit he could do about it because he don't have no type of say-so or custody. So yeah, you're right. Brother Donnie says his phone died. What's going on? We got Perfect Blackness up in the building, and I'm glad to hear because I want him to come on here. We got Ricky Mann up in the building. Please subscribe to his page. He was on Bernard Riley's page this morning, and he's doing his thing, man. He's in the trenches because a lot of people disagree with him, but hey, he's a good brother and he speaks the real and the truth. Everybody's not gonna agree with him. Hell, everybody don't agree with me. So it is what it is. Shout out to Ricky Manor. You ain't missing. I'm just starting, brother. Want to give a shout out to Sneaky Black up in the building. We got Southeast Dago. We got Liberty up in here. We got Brooklyn Q up at GQ up in the building. We got my boy Pride from Chicago, Hero Fix. We got Dark Knight up in here. Salute to you, brother. We got David Anderson, Big Dave from Chi-Town, Big Dave in the building. We got quite a few Chicago's up in here. And we got You're So Cool, a sister from Ricky Manor's YouTube. And shout out to everybody that's tuned in also. Also, we got Reginald Grandin up in here. And shout out to everybody else that's up in here. You know, my boy, Brother Dada said 187 for the only dislike. Oh, I got a dislike already. That's all good. I appreciate it. I told you, the only reason why I like this, like, because I'm able to do what I like to do best.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. But yeah, we got 92 people watching. We got 53 likes. Let's get them likes up so we can spread through the algorithm. And for people who don't realize about not having a father, absent father, Mr. Bennett said, not everyone will like your videos. I understand. I had no problem with that. You know, people don't like Kevin Samuels. He got over 800,000 followers. So everybody's not going to like you. But shout out to Mr. Bennett for coming back because he was kind of in the trenches with the people in the chat. But like I say, we got to definitely be respectful and talk rationally if you agree or disagree. You know what I'm saying? But appreciate you coming back, my brother. Matter of fact, shout out to you, sir. We want to I want y'all to see something right quick. Now, this is not the CDC or anything else, but this is something that is true. This was in June 24th, 2015. This is the 9 devastating effects on an absent father, whether if he abandoned the child, whether if he's alienated, whether if he said, I ain't take care of the kid, whatever. This is the 9 devastating effect of an absent father. I'm not gonna read all this, but I want y'all to see this right here. And there's more to it than this, but this is what I found real quick. Lack of fathers or not having a father, 5 times the average of suicide rates, dramatically increased rates of depression and anxiety, 32 times the average rate of incarceration, decreased education levels and increased dropout rates. Now, my brother earlier just said that. Lacks this the lack of education, constantly lower average income levels, lower job security, increased rates of divorce and relationship issues. Why you think a lot of young men end up going through the same situation as their father did, whether they know their father or not? You can't make this shit up. Also, substantially increased rates of substance abuse. That's fact. Increase in social and mental behavior issues. These are ones running in the street, doing bullshit, getting caught up, going in and out of jail, getting shot at, shooting people. These are ones that shooting at school shooters because of this right here, lack of fathers. But they don't really want to talk about that because you got a lot of these baby mama terrorists who sit back and say, I don't need no man. My kid don't need no man. We good. And I'm going to tell you this once, and I'm going to tell you this over and over and over. A woman cannot raise a boy to be a man. You can talk that shit all you want, but a woman cannot raise a boy to be a man. A man can't raise a girl to be a woman. It goes both ways. You need both parents. And of course, if you ain't got the father in the picture, you do what you got to do. And I ain't talking about alienating baby mama terrorists. You do what you got to do. And you got fathers who don't have the mother in the picture for whatever reason. You do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? The site is thefathercode.com. But I mean, you look it up, you can find some stats in 2019. I just looked up right quick because there's a whole bunch of lists that tells you about this. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's unfortunate that the father not in the picture because of alienation. It's fucked up, and it's fucked up that it happens often. And when you try to fight in the courtroom, you still lose. Now, Mr. Bennett said, "I had no father, but I never been locked up. I am a successful married makeup artist, gospel singer with kids who are grown. This article is false, my brother." See, here's the thing, sir. There are plenty of fathers who's raised by single mothers who successful, never went to jail, got good careers, doing good. I'm not saying that a brother or a man can't make it being raised by a single mother, because if she's a single mother who didn't choose single motherism and she's nurturing and got the mindset, then yeah, you could be successful. I'm not saying that if you come from a single mother, you can't be successful, but if you got a baby mama terrorist that chose single motherism, 9 out of 10, that kid is fucked up. And I shit you not. You say that, here's the thing, you can look up the stats yourself, sir, and you will see that what I'm saying is true about absent fathers. It's not about saying that all single mothers, it's not about all. But if you look at, even in the black community with our crime rates and everything else, majority of these cats is out there doing the bullshit they do, men and women, is because they lack having a father. That's all I'm saying. I was raised with my mother and father. I never went to jail. You could be raised by both parents and go to jail. So it is what it is. But what I'm telling you is, sir, that a lot of people that's out here in the street, a lot of people that's in jails because they didn't have no father. They was raised by baby mama terrorists that chose single motherism. So yeah, I ain't say it's possible for anybody that's been through the trenches and be successful. You got people that got out of jail, did time, and be successful. You know, LeBron James was raised by a single mother. He was successful. So I mean, I'm not saying that every man that's raised by single mothers can't make it, but at the same time they lack something. It's cats that made it, been successful, but you can see they emotional. And LeBron James is emotional. And he also played victim on the court. So he's rich, he's successful, people look up to him, but he lacking a lot of things for not having a father. I shit you not. Want to give a shout out to King GQ for the $4.99 donation. The same birth certificate you sign for your child you love will be used against you in the court. Yes, it can. Appreciate you, my brother. It can happen that way. It could never happen that way. There's a pro and con to that. You know, it's like damn if you do, damn if you don't. But I'm gonna play the video. Like I said, it's only 2.5 minutes. And Mr. Bennett, if you want to come on, because I'm gonna let people come on and talk about this. Like I say, when we come in here, ain't gonna be no disrespect, talking shit and arguing and all that. We're gonna talk and hear your truth or hear everybody else's truth. And I want y'all thoughts about this, but you can't make this shit up when it comes to alienation and these baby mama tears that choose single motherism because of a failed relationship or divorce. You can't make this shit up. Let me get this started. And I will say I got this off a YouTuber. I want to say her name. I don't know her. Somebody send this to me. I think it's called the Pink something. But I want to give her a shout out and a credit because that's who. Okay, Mr. Bennett, you're more than welcome. Now I got my logo. I edited myself because I'm on YouTube talking that bullshit, but it's fair use. And I ain't want to put all her talks on it. We're gonna do our own talking point. Like I said, it's only where I get 2 minutes from? It's longer than that. My bad. But let me see what her name is. We're gonna get it started right now. Oh no, this ain't it. This from yesterday. I knew something was wrong. Forgive me, y'all. Run from that child support, man. Get you forgetting shit. What that motherfucker? Oh, here we go. How about I know one of 30 minutes. That was yesterday's story. And that we had a good dialogue yesterday. And it was long, but it was a good dialogue. And you know, you learn something new every day, I tell you that. Okay. This is the three from I was telling y'all from what at 94.5 and 95.4 streets morning show. I got it from Pink Book Lessons. That's who I got this from. It's only 2 minutes and 36 seconds, so it's gonna be quick. And the baby mama Tess called and said she wanted to get the father to come back, and they actually was able to contact the father. How? I don't know. So let's definitely get this started, y'all.
Good morning. My name is Skylar. My nickname is Sky. Y'all can call me Sky. I'm calling about my child's father, Roger. I've been trying my best to get in contact with him to let him know what's going on with his son. Roger and I departed ways about 15 years ago. My son was 1. I just told him, you know, if you're not going to be in my life consistently, then you can't be in my son's life. And
I want y'all to hear that again. I want y'all to hear that again loud and clear what she said. She told him, if you're not going to be in my life, then you're not going to be in your son's life. I will give her kudos for telling the truth, because most baby mama terrorists ain't going to tell the truth. They going to lie and say, he just ran. I didn't. He just up and left. I didn't do nothing. I didn't say anything. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. She actually came out and said, if you're not going to be with me, then you can't be with our son. And that's sad that these motherfuckers got the balls, got the PowerPoint, they got the guts to tell you, if you're not going to be with us or you're not going to be with me, then you can't get us because it's a package deal. That's sad. But a lot of people say this shit don't happen. So I want y'all to hear it again.
My life consistently, then you can't be in my son's life. And it's just like he knew what he was getting himself into. I was a virgin. I got pregnant. He knew that I was only trying to be with him, but it's like when I got pregnant, it was like he still wanted to do his own thing, and I wanted a family. So I told him if he didn't want to be in my life, then he couldn't be in my son's life. But it's to the point now I really need him. I really need him in my life now.
And I want y'all to hear what she's saying. I really need him. I really need him right now. She didn't say my son needs his dad or our son needs his dad. She said, I need him in my life. She's still talking that I need him shit, not my son needs him. How many of y'all can relate to this shit? Where the baby mama terrorists tell you, if you're not going to be with me, that means you're not going to be with us. How many of y'all can relate to not seeing your son or daughter for years, and then all of a sudden down the line, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, child support ended. Now all of a sudden, come get your dumb ass son. He want to talk back. He want to be in the streets, gang banging, everything else. Fuck up in school, robbing people. Now you want daddy to come to rescue after 5 to 10, 20 years to be in his life. And then you get mad because he said, fuck you. You deal with that. You created that. I'll wash my hands and move on. You can't make this shit up. Shit. I want y'all to hear again.
He couldn't be in my son's life, but it's to the him. But it's like when I got pregnant, it was like he still wanted to do his own thing, and I wanted a family. So I told him if he didn't want to be in my life, then he couldn't be in my son's life. But it's to the point now I really need him. I really need him in my life now.
When was the last time y'all was on good terms?
I would say when my son was 2.
So how old is your son?
He's 16 now.
Now, I don't know. Now, here's the thing, y'all. I don't know if this the mother and the son. I'm not sure, but that's the picture they post up. It might be. I don't want to lie and say this is the mother and son, but most likely it is, because it's the picture they put up. And the boy is like a innocent young man. But she's saying that she's going through it with him and everything else. And he haven't seen his son since he was 2 years old. 2 years old or 1 year old. No, 2 years old. He's 16. Yeah, that's 14 years being alienated and not being able to be a father in his son's life. You can't make this shit up. But then they sit back taking pictures talking about we don't need him. Live my best life and we good, kids good. My son don't want you. I got my degree and shit. We don't need him. But then when shit hit the fan, he's telling you to go fuck yourself. Now all of a sudden you want to call pops. And what the fuck he's supposed to do after 14 years? You can't make this shit up. Candy said he never tried to be in his son's life, though. I don't know. See, that's the thing. I can't answer. Whether he tried to be in his life or whether he didn't, the fact of the matter is, she told him, if you're not gonna be with me, get the fuck on. And if you gonna not be with me, get the fuck on. See, that's what we gotta look at. I understand you saying, well, did he fight or he should have fight and all that shit, whatever. But let's talk about what initiated this shit. The baby mama terrorist said, if you're not gonna be in my life, then you can't be in my son's life. And that's the sad part. A lot of people sit back and say, yeah, but he didn't try to fight. I don't know if he tried to fight or not. Whether if he fought or didn't fight, what's the difference? He still ain't able to be around his son. Because many men on here fight and do their best. But what happens? They still don't get no type of parental time. But motherfuckers sit back and say, you just run to the court, it's just like that. You get it just like that. Have the proper paperwork, the proper lawyer, have that mindset, know what you want. And it's just like that. That's why we're going to dialogue today. All right, let's continue.
Under 14 years?
No, sir.
Okay, so what are you trying to establish today on this phone call?
So my son has been acting out, and he's just getting out of control. It's like nothing that I'm saying to him is getting through to him. And I know he's acting out because he wants his father, but I just need his father.
Now you heard what she said. She said, I know he acting out because he wants his father. A lot of kids act out because they ain't got their father or because they want their father. Sometimes kids act out and they don't even know why. They don't even realize why they're acting out. And then later on down the line or years later, they realize because he don't have his father. Or she don't have a father. Or she don't have a father. But y'all know when it comes to our boys, like a father with a head's that kid. You can't make this shit up. And she know what it is. But she didn't care. She was selfish. She didn't give a fuck. He didn't want to be with me. I'm not finna have him around my kid. A lot of these baby mama terrorists, they all selfish. They don't give a fuck about that kid. That's why they try to manipulate the kid to hate the father. So hopefully he won't be acting out and doing shit out in the street or whatever, because they keep buying them. Because you got a lot of these baby mama terrorists who got money with the degrees and everything. They buys them kids. They're supposed to cover their mouth shut because you teach them to be bought. You teach them to be weak. You teach them to shut their mouth as long as the dollar amount come out. Believe me, I know that for a fact. And then you got some that let them do what the fuck they want to do. They don't have to want for shit. They don't have to clean up. They don't have to earn money. They don't have to work for money. They become son husbands. And then you teach the daughter to disrespect grown-ups, tell your kids to disrespect adults and treat them like they grown, put them in grown-ups business and so on. But then you wonder why your son is emotional, weak and going in and out of jail. And you wonder why your daughter end up like you, being miserable, fucked up and having kids at 15, being single motherism and trying to fight men in the streets. You wonder why. This is one of the reasons why. Because you took the father out the picture that wanted to be a father, but just because he didn't want you, you give him the ultimatum that, oh, well, if you ain't gonna be with me, then you can't be around our son. Well, she said, my son. You can't be around my son. And then he said, well, fuck it. Wash his hand, move on. Then what? Now you want to put it on him? Nah, it's your fault. Let's continue.
Out, and he's just getting out of control. It's like nothing that I'm saying to him is getting through to him. And I know he's acting out because he wants his father, but I just need his father to be consistent. I need him to stay consistent in his life, in our life.
Okay. Listen. We don't.
Notice she keep talking at our life. She not saying my son's life. Not one time you hear her say anything about our son's life. She keeps saying our or my, me. She's still being selfish. She's still being selfish. Yeah, this bitch on trial. Yeah, this bitch is on trial. This bitch took in the trial. Definitely she's going to trial for being an alienator and then had a nerve to tell the father or go on a radio show and say, oh, I want my child's father to come back. After 14 years, I can't do this no more. I fucked up. Too late, as far as I'm concerned.
A lot of time, I already got where you come from. You didn't let him see your son for 14 years. Now your son off the chain, where he needed that male figure, that male role model in his life, and that you want him to come to bat for the little boy now.
We need him. I cannot deny it no more. We need him. I tried to.
Now, she said, I can't deny no more. We need help. Now, you're going to hear the father come in. I had cut some of the clips off because it was the young lady who was Pink Book Lessons talking. So what you're going to hear is the father tell his story. Now, how he reached out to the radio station, I don't know. Maybe she had his number, and I don't know. But he actually came on the show. Candy said, but would you men go back to help save your son? It's not his fault. No, it's not his fault. It's not his motherfucking fault. How you gonna sit back and say it's his fault? She alienated him. We don't know if he went to court and fought. We don't know if he did or didn't. And you gonna sit back and say that basically it's on him because he didn't stay in the picture. Is that what you're saying? I want you, Candy, to come on here when we do the discussion so we can hear your story and what's the reason why you're saying this. Because you got plenty of men that still fighting to this day trying to be around their son or their daughter and they 15, 16 years old. And like I said, I don't know if he tried to fight. I don't know if he just said the hell with it. But you're going to sit back and give her no type of accountability for running him away because she couldn't take the fact that he'll be around, but not with her, and he's in the wrong. Come on, man. Yeah, we're going to talk about this. That's what I want to have this dialogue because I want y'all to understand. Of course, Mr. Bennett said exactly, Candy. And like I said, we're going to have this dialogue so we come with a clear understanding. What I'm saying is not the son's fault. Would you go back to say your son? I just said I would, but at the same time, I can't speak on everybody else. And like I said, maybe he did try to fight in the court. Maybe he got shut down. I did that and got shut down. So, like I said, you can't fault the man for fighting to the point he couldn't get himself out the hole. So he had to get himself in order. And she's still doing the baby mama terrorist and shit. You calling the police or you telling the judge, you got receipts, you got lawyers, you trying to do it the right way. And yet it's still on him. But then if he go over there and give it that Machine Gun Kelly, then they say, well, he was wrong. He was too emotional. He shouldn't have did all that. Now he in the wrong for killing the baby mama terrorist. He wrong for airing out the house, even though the kid is getting abuse. So it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. She said, I'm not faulting the man. I just asked for men's sentiments. Well, okay, we're gonna definitely, like I say, we're gonna talk about this. That's why I want to dialogue. I don't want to just do the segment and y'all don't come in here because some people got different justification why he's wrong, why he's not wrong, and why he shouldn't come back, why he should. And I want y'all on here. And when y'all come on here, it would not be no disrespect. Talking about baby boomers and you a hoe and baby mama tears and fagging it out. We're not doing that. We're gonna have a dialogue. We're gonna hear each other out, and we come to a common ground. That's what we're gonna do on here. We don't do like the mother chats, man. Get emotional and shit like that. We're not gonna do that. So I'm just letting y'all know ahead of time. When y'all come in here, we're not gonna do that. But far as I'm concerned, she is the reason why the son is being the way he is. And most likely 9 out of 10, if he out here acting a fool, talking back and everything, he's also emotional. He's also weak. So I want y'all now to hear the father come in and state his case. Let's go.
No more. We need him. I tried to be there for my son, but because I wouldn't be in a relationship with her, she was just like, if you can't be there with me, you can't be there for our son. I don't want you in our son's life. You won't.
Now, he said he tried to reach out. Now, I don't know his trying to reach out mean go to court or if it means that he just kept going back and forth to her, trying to get up with her to, to be a parent. But he said he tried. But she still was talking that, well, if you're going to be with us, then you can't be around my son. Let's continue.
Like, you want me to step in and play God and fix something. My name is Roderick, not God. I can't fix 16 years worth of damage that you've done.
He wasn't there because of you. Selfish single mothers like her, they ruined the whole community.
Now, that was the young lady who did this story, which is Pink Book Lessons. I'm going to bag it up to what he said. He said, you want me to come play God? He said, well, I don't know who his name, but he said, I'm not God. You want me to come 16 years later and play God and make a miracle? You know what I'm saying? Perfect Blackness said he gonna come up in a few when I get home. Yeah, I want you to, because you can relate to this, you know. But I want y'all to hear what this young lady said, and I kept that part in there. This is the young lady who's on the YouTube Pink Book Lessons when she said that.
I can't fix 16. You want me to step in and I don't want you in our sunlight. You want me to step in and play God and fix something. My name is Roderick, not God. I can't fix 16 years worth of damage that you done.
He wasn't there because of you. Selfish single mothers like her, they ruined the whole community.
Now, that's what the lady from the page said. Selfish baby mama terrorist fucks up the community. Is she telling the truth or is she telling a lie? We're going to talk about that too. Yes, she said that. And since Umar Johnson said, what's good, Leroy? Since Leroy Johnson. Since Umar Johnson said that white supremacy is the reason for what's going on, and the black queens are the managers of the black community, like I said, they know different. When I say they the right hands of white supremacy, the baby mama tears fake queens, he say they the managers. So they the managers of white supremacy. Now, this is another black woman saying this about baby mama tears single mothers. I want y'all to hear it again.
And play God and fix something. She was just like, but because I wouldn't be in a relationship with her, she was just like, if you can't be there with me, you can't be there for our son. I don't want you in our sunlight. You want me to step in and play God and fix something. My name is Roderick, not God. I can't fix 16 years worth of damage that you done.
He wasn't there because of you. Selfish single mothers like her, they ruined the whole community.
And I'm telling you now, my son and I are a package deal. So, yes, I am saying.
Now, did y'all hear her response? This the mother response. I want y'all to hear it real clearly. That's why I say these motherfuckers don't never care about their kids. They do not care about their kids. She don't give a fuck about what he talking about. She steady saying, if you're not going to be with us, this after 14 years, she's still talking this shit. 14 years.
My son and I are a package deal.
They ruined the whole community.
And I'm telling you now, my son and I are a package deal. So, yes, I am saying.
This is not chess. This is not chess. Our son is not a pawn. The only way we can actually do this to try to fix this, you got to sit down with our son, with me, and you got to tell our son the devilish that you did.
Now, you heard what he said. He said, if you want this to work, him to come back in the picture, you will have to tell your son, he got to tell our son all that devilish shit she done. Is he in the wrong for saying that? Or do you think he was right? He said, if you want me to be involved, you need to tell him, our son, all that devilishness shit you done. And she's telling you, I'm talking about y'all, she's telling you that even after the 14 years of struggling, whatever, she needs him, and she's still saying it's a package deal. And she said it again. If you're not gonna take me, then you cannot have my son. But at the same time, she's on a fucking radio station talk about she want me to come back. That's why I tell y'all fellas, keep your veins cold. Keep your veins cold. This is the shit I be talking about. If
you're not willing to do that, there's nothing I can do. I'm not trying to turn my back on my son.
Bro, wait a minute.
You heard what he said? He said, well, if you're not going to do that and you want me to be with you, then ain't nothing I could do. And I believe he's right. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to play it straight through. Oh, it was more to it, but it wasn't no solution with the interview. What's up, Lawrence? It wasn't no solution with the interview. It wasn't no what happened at the end, nothing like that. What ended up happening was comedian Shotty, y'all know him by Shotty, got really emotional and hurt. He was actually crying. They even showed a video of him crying and getting consoled because he hasn't seen his son for a couple years. I know this guy. I used to talk to him on Instagram. We follow each other. He's a good brother. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to put that on here, even though Pink Books put it on her page. I don't want to put that on there. I don't want to put that on there. But yeah, he was emotional. He was hurt, and he was saying, "I wish I had the opportunity to have my baby mama to ask me to come back in my son's life, because he's been alienated for a couple of years. He's been fighting in courts. He's been dealing with politicians, stuff like that, to make change, and it's still the same old thing." And this is a dude who got a platform, doing comedy for years. He got a name, and he's going through it. A lot of time we don't know unless we start talking about this shit. You just never know. And I want to give prayers to him because he was hurt, and he was saying, "Man, I wish I could have my son, mama to bring him and say, here, I need your help. You can have him, or we need him around." You know what I'm saying? So I understand from his standpoint. So he's saying, don't just walk away again. So that's why I say, is he wrong for saying that, Shotty? Nope. But like I said, I do understand if you still want to do this package deal shit after 14 years, I ain't got time for that shit. So shout out to Shotty for definitely trying to reach out and talk to the brother. But I don't know the end game. But I want y'all to hear what the baby mama Tez was saying and what the father said. But here's the sad part. The sad part is, who lose? Who suffer? Who's in the hole? Who's gonna be most like a statistic? It's that child. So while you baby mama terrorists sit back and alienate the father and hide him out and run off and just get that child support, and the son or daughter's doing the bullshit and doing everything you don't want them to do, that's your fault. So I'm gonna play it all the way through, and we're gonna definitely put the link in, and we're gonna definitely dialogue. I hope Mr. Bennett come in, Perfect Blackness, Candy, and others. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want y'all three to come in if you can. Let's go.
Good morning. My name is Skylar. My nickname is Sky. You all can call me Sky. I'm calling about my child's father, Roger. I've been trying my best to get in contact with him to let him know what's going on with his son. Roger and I departed ways about 15 years ago. My son was 1. I just told him, if you're not going to be in my life consistently, then you can't be in my son's life. And it's just like he knew what he was getting himself into. I was a virgin. I got pregnant. He knew that I was only trying to be with him, but it's like when I got pregnant, it was like he still wanted to do his own thing, and I wanted a family. So I told him if he didn't want to be in my life, then he couldn't be in my son's life. But it's to the point now I really need him. I really need him in my life now.
When was the last time y'all was on good terms?
I would say when my son was 2.
So how old is your son?
He's 16 now.
You seen his son in 14 years?
No, sir.
Okay, so what are you trying to establish today on this phone call?
So my son has been acting out, and he's just getting out of control. It's like nothing that I'm saying to him is getting through to him. And I know he's acting out because he wants his father, but I just need his father to be consistent. I need him to stay consistent in his life, in our life.
Okay. Listen. We don't have a lot of time. I already got where you come from. You didn't let him see your son for 14 years. Now your son off the chain. Where he needed that male figure, that male role model in his life. And then you want him to come to bat for the little boy now.
We need him. I cannot deny it no more. We need him.
I tried to be there for my son, but because I wouldn't be in a relationship with her, she was just like, if you can't be there with me, you can't be there for our son. I don't want you in our son's life. You want me to step in and play God and fix something. My name is Roderick, not God. I can't fix 16 years worth of damage that you've done.
He wasn't there because of you. Selfish single mothers like her, they ruined the whole community.
I'm telling you now, my son and I are a package deal. So, yes, I am saying...
This is not chess. This is not chess. Our son is not a pawn. The only way we can actually do this to try to fix this, you got to sit down with our son, with me, and you got to tell our son the devil is just that you did. If you're not willing to do that, there's nothing I can do. I'm not trying to turn my back on my son.
Bro, wait a minute.
So yeah, y'all heard it straight through. Nothing else need to be said with that situation. Now she came out and basically said it again after 14 years. You want to be around my son. I do need you, but if you're not gonna be with me, then you can't be around him because it's a package deal. Something wrong with this lunatic because she says she need him, but yet she's steady saying it's a package deal. But yet, motherfucker will sit back and defend this motherfucking whore. I want to give a shout out to Willie, $20 donation. Appreciate you, my brother. Anybody else want to donate? You can donate to the super chat, or you can definitely do the Cash App, $ MrPalmerD4S. You know, appreciate everybody's support. Appreciate everybody coming in. We got 202 people in there. Let's get them likes up. We got before we do that, we got Bean the Cat in the building. $20 donation. The last time I saw or heard my son when was 6 months old. He's now 14 years old. I don't really know what to do. You can't make this shit up, man. Sorry, and I'm praying for you, my brother, but we're going to talk about this today. Shout out to you, my brother. I appreciate you. You can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. I just put the link in the description box, in the comment section. We got my boy Roger all the way from Mexico.
What it do, brother? What it do, the Honorable Mr. Palmer? How you doing?
What's going on, my brother?
Hey, man, I'm doing good, man. I got first-hand experience. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, well, gentlemen, really. If your kid is 16 years old and you ain't never met him, that little nigga is a stranger. You don't know him. Don't let him in your house. I'm not saying this jokingly, because let me tell you what is going to happen 100%. You and him is going to be World War 15 in that motherfucking house. You going to put your hands on him, or if you have a daughter, you going to put your hands on, you going to want to kill him. Why? Because that child has a lot of rage, a lot of hatred, a lot of emotion, because he is bitch made. Not his fault, but this is the outcome. That is a stranger you're dealing with. Case in point, my dad, his daughter, 18 years old, she showed up to the crib. I told my dad, you know that's a stranger, right, man? Don't let this bitch in your house. He said, nah, that's my daughter. When I tell you it was World War 23 in that house, it was World War 23 in that house. They was fighting like cats and dogs, because she was already who she was going to be. She was already grown, and he was trying to put rules. That is his house. He was putting rules on a girl that wasn't living by rules, and she like, well, eventually they're going to throw it in your face that you wasn't there for me. It's going to be a chaos. Wash your hands off of it. To that brother, you say you haven't seen your kid, and since he was 6 months. And you know, brother, I feel, that is something that hurts. You know what I mean? Like I said, I haven't seen my kids going on 4 years. And it hurts. It hurts. I know I know it hurts, brother. But to remove the emotion from it, that child of yours is a stranger. You don't know him. You do not know him. And try to get a 14 or a 15-year-old, try to get them to know that person in your house is suicide. You're going to do more damage than good. He's going to end up hating you. Why? Because he's going to express his emotions. You wasn't there. This is why he's going to say all type of mean shit, because, like I said, he's bitch made. He don't know nothing else besides how to act like a bitch. That's all he knows. So he's going to be a bitch around you. So to end with this, ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason why whenever you let's say you have a credit card, once that credit card bill hits your credit report, you have no reason to pay. The damage has already been done. They're not going to remove it. They already pulled it up to collection. The damage has already been done. Same thing with a child. If the damage has already been done, there's no reason to pay. There is no reason to pay because it's already in your credit report. And no matter if you pay or you don't, they're not going to remove it. So there is no reason. Now, the last thing, if you are considering to be in that child's life, you're going to have to tell the child, just like my daddy told me, nigga, I don't know you. I'm not investing time in a nigga I don't know. So you got to go out there and prove to me that you're an investment worth making. You got to prove to me that you could overcome that bullshit your mama put you through. Because if you coming over here acting the way your mama raised you, I can't do nothing for you, nigga. You got to make that little nigga or that girl you got prove themselves that they're worthy of your time. Because guess what? If they're not worthy of your time, why are you investing in them? It's not their fault. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. But whoop, there it is, nigga. Whoop, there it is.
Let me ask you a question. So
Yeah.
when did your sister come moving over there with the father? With your father?
She was 18.
So when was the last time he saw his daughter?
3 years old.
And what was the reason?
The baby, same thing. You know, the mama was like, you're not gonna be together with me. So, you know, that's where the alienation came from. The same thing happens. The child was getting older, and she was like, all children are going to act out as they get older. They're going to act out. But this is what they like to say, oh, he needs his father. No, that is true. But the main reason why those children act up, because the mama ain't shit. They always forget to leave that part out. The reason why they're acting out is because the mama ain't shit. And they sick and tired of living under tyranny. And they want something else. So they always like to put it, oh, he needs his father. That is true. But he also trying to get away from your funky ass.
So when she moved into 18, how did they rekindle? How did they get back, together?
I told my dad, because he was, again, my dad was like, that's my daughter. I was like, you haven't seen this girl in 15 years. You don't know her. That's what I told him. He said, well, she need me. And I'm like, dude, don't do it. So she came in the house. The first week, they were good. But then all of a sudden, she was living in my dad's house. And my dad, you got to put some rules on her. She wasn't trying to hear none of it. None of it. And he ended up calling her all types of funky bitches and dirty bitches. And he ended up, and she calling him, you wasn't in my life and you ain't shit, you a deadbeat. It was the worst thing that could ever happen. The worst thing. And I'm looking at them like, nigga, I told you. And to this day, they don't talk. I'm like, she's like 27 now. I said, I told you, you did more damage than you did any good. You can't fix that. She's a whole grown woman. She ended up getting pregnant and friggin' abortions had to be had. So it was one of those situations. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. I want to give a shout out to Sergeant Tyson for the $5 donation. He said, I haven't seen my son since 2010 when I deployed to Iraq. His grandma, baby mama Tess, lied to the courts that I abandoned him, left town, and left no money. Damn, so you was in the military. Actually, he's still in the military, but he was deployed to Iraq, and the grandma, baby mama Tess, lied to the courts and said he abandoned him. Wow, you cannot make this shit up, bro. Shout out to you. And he's located in New York, y'all. Waiting for my wife 1 second. Okay, Mr. Bennett. Let me ask you this. For the people, Roger. For the people that disagree with you and say, that's wrong, and what's your thoughts about that? Excuse me.
Say that one more time.
I said, what's your thoughts for the people that's in chats that disagree with you about what you're saying? What's your response to that?
I'll tell them this. Listen, you can cover your eyes and think that everything is. I seen this firsthand. I know exactly what's going to happen. This is predictable. This is not even. You don't need to be Einstein to see this coming. This is a stranger. As much as you would like, oh, that's my son. That's 16 years of life that you literally did not speak to him or her for 16 years. You don't know this individual. It's just, you could pick any 16-year-old from the street that you don't know. Well, you think this is going to be any different? It's going to be identical. It's a stranger to try to get to know somebody and bring them in your house, somebody who you don't know. And I forgot to tell you, she was stealing from my dad too. So, like I said, you don't know what you're opening up yourself to when you let this little nigga in your house.
So
people always, this is the problem. Men, it's not a problem. Men, we always try to do the right thing. Men, we always try to do the right thing. And I get it. That's your child. You didn't want this to happen. I get it all. But I'm letting you know, I'm going to guarantee you this. If that man lets that 16-year-old boy in his home, eventually that child is going to tell him how he ain't shit. You abandon me, all them bitch made traits are gonna come out. He gonna get in that man's face, and that dad is gonna have to beat the living shit out of him. It's going to happen. As the sun rises in the west, it's going to happen. This is exactly what happens 100% of the time. He gonna call the police on you. I'm telling you, I've seen this happen more than 6 times.
Well, let me ask you this, my brother. Was you alienated from seeing your dad?
No, so my mama, that funky ass bitch. Sorry.
You said what?
My mama, she basically, to answer your question, she did alienate me. I didn't meet my dad till I was 22.
Now, let me ask you this. Now, how did you have the mindset did you reach out to your father or he reached out to you?
I reached out so how we met, it was funny. So I was in Iraq, right? I was in the military. I was in Iraq. I called my mama home and she was like, you wouldn't believe who I ran into. And I'm like, I ain't got time for this guessing game. Who the fuck you talking to? She said, your dad. I'm like, my dad? She was like, yeah, he in California, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. So I got his phone number and I called him. And then he was like, oh yeah, I want to meet you, whatever the case might be. So I flew out to California. I was in New York at the time. I flew out to California. And, we started chopping it up. And as soon as I met him, it was good that I met him because I could see a lot of things, just genetics. A lot of mannerisms are like, it was a lot of genetic things just explained. But to answer your question, when I first met him, I told him just like this, and I quote, I said, you ain't got to explain shit to me. I grew up with the crazy heifer. I would have left too. That's exactly what I told him.
Well, let me ask you this then, since you said you already know how she is, because a lot of kids are so manipulated, they don't know the truth, whether the father a piece of shit or not. How did you have the mindset to realize that, my mom's a piece of shit, and also that it's not my dad's fault? I understand why he leave, because a lot of people don't realize that shit, and sometimes they'll never realize that shit. So how did you have the mindset to be like, no, it's you, something wrong with you, and to not take it out on your father and blame him for not being around? What did you do?
Well, so what my mom was, like I said before when I called you, my mother she got a PhD in BMT. She got a PhD. She is also, so what with me was very sick because I got a brother and a sister. So my mother will always used to play me against my brother and my sister, talking about I'm going to spoil the bunch. So she always alienated me in that house. I guess you get what I'm saying?
When you say she alienated you from your brother and sister?
Yeah, she will play me against like, oh, I'm doing this to you because I'm trying to save your brother and sister from you. That's why she did that to me for like a long, long, long time. So right then I always knew this heifer crazy. You know what I mean? Like this broad is really crazy. And my brother be looking at me and my sister be like, yo, man, I don't know why she doing that. But like I said, as I do, the more I grow up, I started realizing, man, this broad is loco. And like most crazy broad, she was overly religious as well. So you know what I mean? There was a lot of like obvious signs that something was wrong with her in her head. And again, the first chance I got out the house, I left the house when I was 16. And like, if I wanted to get out the house that bad, I could imagine. Everybody, my brother, I got kicked out. My brother got kicked out. My sister got kicked out by 17 times, but she keep coming back.
Is that the same sister that came at 18?
Yeah.
Okay, so you was raised with her and your brother.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically you knew what it was. You understood, because a lot of people don't, when their kids, whether they manipulated or because they don't want to face the truth, will still blame the father. But in your case, you actually had the mindset to realize for what it really was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen. I've always knew, like when I was like maybe like 13, I started realizing like something's wrong with my mother, man. I can't put my hand on it, but this heifer is off. She off the rockers. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to like. Who could deal with her? And now my brother and my sister, they got well, my brother has a different dad. So, he always would try to tell me, why don't you talk to your mother? For the same reason you don't talk to her, goddamn. What you trying to get me talking to this crazy bitch? And he only will come through and drop the child support check off, and then he'll dip. And he don't never talk to her. I'm like, why do you want me to talk to her when you don't talk to her?
So, how's y'all relationship now? You and your father and your mother. We're gonna talk about your father first. How's y'all relationship now?
No, listen, man. My father, hella cool. Now, like I said, when I met my dad, he a business owner out there in California. So I spoke to him. We good. Like we don't obviously that daddy and all that shit that's out the window. But if I need something from him or like some kind of advice or business advice, which is what I usually talk to him about, he definitely hit me up with some game. And in that regards, my mama, I don't talk to that crazy heifer. I don't want to be associated with her because if with like certain people, that eventually they're going to do or say something stupid. It's coming. I don't know when, but I know if I talk to her for more than 12 minutes, something stupid she's going to say or do something stupid. So to avoid all that, I just stay away from her.
Is that the same way with your brother and sister? Do they fool with her or no?
Nah, my brother and my sister, man. My brother, I try to speak sense to my brother, man, but he don't see it, man. He had, because I told you, my mother played me against my brother and my sister, so he has a whole different view from her. He's loyal to the dysfunction. He's loyal to it. My sister, I already cut her off because she loyal to it too. I'm like, yo, I tell my brother, I'm like, yo, man, like all that crazy shit she done to you, man, you can still talk to this woman. Oh, that's my mom. So I'm like, all right, nigga, I hear you.
Well, do he talk to his father?
Yeah, he talked. He talked to I told you, my dad, his dad is a simp enforcer.
Okay.
He a simp enforcer.
Okay.
So he forces him to talk to my mom. Like, oh, that's your mom. So I'm like, but he don't talk to her. So why he want you to talk to her? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely understand. I want to give a shout out to Lorenzo Davis for the $2 super chat. Appreciate you, my brother. He says, paying my late court fees. Shout out to you. Want to also give a shout out to my boy Hero from Chicago. $5 donation. Appreciate you, Pride. I also want to give a shout out to this from yesterday I missed. I want to give a shout out to Waze. $5 donation. He sent it yesterday when we logged off. For Wise. Appreciate you, my brother. Also, who else? I think yesterday, James, my boy James Harris, Flip Dollar, gave a $10 donation yesterday as well. Shout out to you, my brother. And also, just now we got Mr. Mark is in the building with the $25 cash app. Appreciate you, my brother, 100%. Okay, man, you can't make this shit up, man. We got none of your business up in here. I want to see what your thoughts is about the video, and also what about what Roger said. What's your take?
The video, damn. So my thoughts on that is that it's just like I was talking to you about last time, right? When fathers create their strings and their ties with their children, it's more of a delicate process. It doesn't happen overnight. It's not one of those things where, the woman has had the child for 9 months and then all of a sudden they have the child and they have this immediate connection because they've been dreaming together, having hunger together, craving the same foods. We have to build our strings to our child or to our children over time. right? Some of us, yeah, we have that immediate connection. It all depends on whether or not you have a good relationship with the mother. But typically, it's a slow process. But once that rope is once that string is turned into a rope, it's hard to break, right? And I when I'm listening to it, I just see a man. Maybe I'm seeing a little bit of myself, but I see a man who had his strings cut, right? Those strings to his child cut, severed, right? And you have the mother thinking that it's just some sort of game that just could be replugged in, and all of a sudden you could just start up immediately with those types of ties. And that's not easy, right? So when those strings are cut, you're in a bad situation, right? And a large amount of men, and I think of if a large amount of men who are alienated from their children are honest about their emotions, they'll realize that that's probably how they're able to survive, whether those strings are cut a little bit or whether they're basically taking the whips and chains of the court system to try to make sure that those ties don't get cut, right? Um, but that's sort of the stage that everybody is in. They're either allowing those strings to get cut and saying fuck it, or they're battling the court systems, trying their best, hoping not to have those strings cut, right? So to any of the women listening, I would say, once again, be careful. Be careful. You're not just playing around with, you know, you're not just playing around with an immaterial object. You're not playing around with a puppy. You're not talking about an Xbox. You're talking about a human being and a seed of another person, right? And when you cut those family ties, when you cut those ties to the point where the father could possibly be in a store, see their child and not even know that that's their child standing right next to them because they haven't seen a picture, they haven't seen a photo, you know what I'm saying? All they have is the baby picture of their head that they saw last, right? That they have in their phone, they have in their computer, they have posted everywhere to remind them of what their child looks like. But they've never actually seen their child. When you play around with that, it could be permanent, right? It could be permanent. And I don't fault the fathers who have to make a decision like that, because in certain cases, there's another component of this, which is the S word. I don't want to say it because the YouTube algorithm may mess you up, or the self-deletion word, right? There's a large amount of fathers who have to deal with that as a part of it, and a large amount of the coping mechanisms that they have to take in order to make sure that they don't self-delete is to cut those ties, right? So I would say to the people who are playing kids like that, I would suggest that you don't do that. That's what I would say about that, about the video. And I think that I can't fault the guy. What can you say, right? What can you say? He's speaking honestly. He's speaking from his heart. It's not like he's cursing her out. He's not saying anything bad about his child. He's speaking pragmatically. He can't really undo 16 years of child rearing for the next 16 years until the person is 32 years old. They're an adult at that point. He can't undo that. What he could do is probably guide the person as a mentor, but he can't be a father anymore, right? He could be a friend and a mentor, but his fathering days are over once that child is able to sign a contract without him being present, right? So there's nothing you can say, but the lessons you can take from it are that. That's what I would say about that.
Okay. Mr. Bennett says his wife wants to join as well. Yeah, both of y'all can join. Anybody can join the chat. I don't have no preference, nothing like that.
Yeah. And just to chime into what he said, man, again, this is everything I've said. I'm saying with a little bit of joke into it because, like I said, joke. At this point, I've just made to just make a joke out of it because it's funny, but it's really not. Again, like the man said, this is a life. This is a whole entire person. You get what I'm saying? It's a whole entire person. It's not an easy thing for a man or a woman. Well, I think it's easier for a woman because they don't give a damn about these kids. But for a man, I don't know too many men that could be like, man, fuck that child. You know what I mean? Like, pull a birdie back. Fuck them kids.
Exactly.
Without that impacting them some way, somehow. Like, again, I'm using me for example. Like I said, I haven't seen my daughters in a bit. And like I said, it hurts. But I know this is something that has to be done. Because the other option is going back and forth with this court, with this woman, arguing and bickering when I know I'm going to lose. You get what I'm saying? So it's never easy. But at the same time, again, man, you have to be rational. You have to be rational about this. You can't see this as, oh, this is my child. No, this is a whole stranger that grew up with a woman that you didn't want to be with. So probably somebody you don't really like.
Can I chime in there for a second? Can I chime in? I don't mean to cut you off. I really don't. And I apologize if I am. But I just want to say this because I just remembered. The only thing is with that, I would suggest that you take it as seriously as you would, right? Because a large amount of fathers are thinking to themselves, well, I got to wait till the child turns 18. And what you're saying right now is something that a nightmare scenario that every father who's alienated from their child has to think about. Oh my God, this person is going to be mad at me. I'm going to have to deal with this, that, and the third. What I would suggest is counseling. Plain counseling. Don't accept that this is just all good and kosher. You could just talk it out. I think that you need professional help if you're going to try to have that type of relationship. You're never going to be able to be a father to that person as a child, but you can be a friend and a mentor, and hopefully that grows into something that is akin to fatherhood when they're later in life. But the only way that could happen is in a, just come over to my house and you're 18. No, I think you need professional help. I think that needs to be a structured situation. Right, you need to have counseling, sit down, talk that shit out for like 3 months or 6 months before you just start having people over to your house. So I agree with that, but I think it can be helped if people actually take it seriously and they get counseling. But that's another issue with the Black community. I'll just put it that way. That's another issue we have about that.
I'm sorry. I want to give a shout out to WM. He said, "Thank you, brothers. For the longest time, I was alone until I found this community. Look like a white brother. Shout out to my brother." And that's one of the reasons why this page created, because a lot of men do think they're alone. A lot of people don't realize that so many men go through this because we don't talk about it. Our pride would not put it out there because we don't want to be shamed, embarrassed, and feel like we pieces of shit. So appreciate you joining in, brother. You're welcome to join the conversation as well. Go ahead, my boy Roger from Mexico.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to counseling, again, if that's what it all depends. And if you feel, me personally, this is just me personally, I got the 14 for a boy, 14 for a girl, 9. What do I mean by that? If I don't get to that boy before 14, he done. And if I don't get to that child before she 9, she done. Counsel is, I have grown up under a baby mama terrorist. And that, from what that phone call I heard, that woman is a textbook baby mama terrorist. That boy, she has destroyed, she's so bitter, she's vindictive, she still has it like we are packaged 16 years later. She's talking about we are a package deal. That boy is done. He is done. And she could hold on to this rage, to this emotion like it happened yesterday. I know that child is damaged goods. It's beyond fixing. And that man low-key knows it. That's why he said what he said, because you got to tell him the evilness that you are. And you know she's not going to do that. Baby malware terrorists, they're going to deflect. They're not going to take any responsibility. They're just not. And for the boys, now I would say this about boys. Boys always have a better chance than girls, because just boys, we are designed to take more shit from, and be able to survive. But that's why I get girls at 9. But by 9, these girls are done. They don't call these girls all types of hoes and bitches at 9. These baby mama terrorists call their baby girls hoes and bitches at 9.
That's true. I've seen that personally.
Yeah. I can't disagree.
I have.
And the last
No. I can't disagree with what he's saying. He's saying everything right at this point. So I'm not.
The last thing, when it comes to all you guys out there, well, I was grew up with a single mom and I'm successful. Let me tell you this: you are successful in spite of growing up with a single mama. Your mama,
exactly.
Single mama, is not the reason why you're successful. You made it. You was handicapped. And you made it in spite. LeBron made it in spite of being raised by a baby mama terrorist. KD made it in spite of being raised by a baby mama terrorist. Diddy made it in spite of being raised by a single woman. They do not get any credit.
Exactly.
Why do
Stop
you
this
think? Well,
nonsense.
let me ask this, brother, because you're right, and I want to ask you, in your opinion, why do you think that a lot of these guys still give credit to these type of mothers? Because I hear it all the time.
Again, the mamas is you could tell how a child thinks. I'm gonna give KD. I'm gonna use Kevin Durant because that whole speech about she being the real MVP. I'm like, okay, all right, here go this nigga talking this goofy ass shit. But anyway, they just, they give the speech. Oh, in the 1-bedroom apartment in Section 8. This is all the things that your mother put you through on purpose. This is not something to be glorified or like this. She put you in a bad situation before you got here. You can't give up credit because for that nonsense. And again, going back to most, and I always be the first one to say, I'm bitch made. I came up under a bitch. I was bitch made for a while. I had to go out here and get game, and I'm still getting the game. I'm 34 now, but I'm bitch made, and I understand the bitch made mentality. Most of these NBA, if you notice in the NBA and NFL, they always show their white counterparts with their wives and their kids. The black ones, they always get showed with their mamas. Always get showed with their mamas. You ever notice that?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, you're right.
And again, these men are loyal to dysfunction, and on top of that, they know that for them to come up, especially in the NBA and all that, they have to give credits to their mamas. Steph Curry, remember he gave that speech, MVP speech? They barely put the camera on his dad. That was like, he was talking, my dad was there. I don't want to hear that shit.
Facts.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right.
Talk about your mama.
And they're married.
Right. And look at what's his name, LeVar Ball, the father. They hated him that he raised his boys to have their own business and have things going on. They hated that he was involved trying to get the right contracts, and he molded his kids to be who they are today. And yet he the evilest dude in the NBA world. That shit. I shit you not. I seen that because I used to watch him and watch how they develop and everything else, and they did treat him like shit. They hated him.
Yeah, they don't like that. They don't like that.
No, they don't.
We need the single mama story out here because that's what it sells for the back athlete. They're selling pictures. You came from the ghetto, and your mama, because LeBron mama was fucking his teammates. Like
exactly during the finals.
You're right. Like, come on, man. Like, you think LeBron is successful because of that gutter ass heifer he got as a mama? No. All these NBA players' mamas are BMT gutter ass bitches, and these dudes ain't supposed to be there. They made it in spite of this. It's not like LeBron mama was driving into practice. She ain't got time for that. She chasing dicks and cheap liquor, as the Minister Jack will say. She chasing dick and cheap liquor. But I'm going to pass the mic.
You can't make this shit up. Man, you ain't never lied about that LeVar Ball and also about Steph Curry when he tried to talk about his father. You can't make this shit up. I want to give a shout out to the Renaissance chick. She said, "Hey, probably Mr. Palmer, I'm glad men, especially black, have an outlet instead of holding all that in. Counseling is, helpful. It has been as been." I get what you're saying though. Yeah, this is also a way to counseling. That is because, like I say, you heard what Roger said. He said, yeah, he admit he was emotional, he was bitch made, and he finally got out of it. Luckily, because a lot of people don't get out of that.
Yeah, and lastly, this counseling thing, do not get no counseling for no female black women. Don't get it. Don't you're wasting your time.
I was going to add that, Kevin.
You go find yourself a man, a black man, and if you go to do counseling, go find yourself a black man and get counseling from him. That's going to be finding a needle in a haystack because it's dominated by women, predominantly white women. But don't waste your time getting counseling from a black woman because you're gonna dig the hole deeper. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna add as a caveat. There's no real counseling associated with the black, for instance, we'll locate it to black men. There's no counseling geared towards black alienated fathers, right? That doesn't exist. If you have that, please give me that contact information, right? And there's definitely not any sort of counseling that's tailored for the Black family. That's the type of stuff that we need to start defining, you know what I'm saying, what we need in that regard, or the people who are in that field need to start providing those services to us instead of doing research for white papers and journalistic submissions and stuff like that. They need to actually start serving the community if they got those psychology degrees, but there really doesn't exist any sort of targeted counseling for our experience. That's the problem. So yeah, he's right on that.
Hey, Willie, my boy Willie said, I'm still paying child support for a 24-year-old and a 21-year-old. I asked for a modification, and now they're giving me the runaround. My payments have been consistent since 2012, yet I'm a deadbeat. Shake my head. Yeah, you always going to be a deadbeat. God, you give out $1 million, you're a deadbeat. They done that. But like I say, again, they don't know the true definition of a deadbeat. But, you know, hey, prayers to you, bro. Hopefully you better get that took care of. But people still sit back and say that's not true, you're a lie, and all that fuck shit. None of your business. Anything else you wanted to say before I let Mr. My boy Cincinnati jump in?
I'm gonna say something on the Black Manosphere channel that comes from a Black feminist. A horrible, but when I say it, I think it's gonna be relevant. I have to say that because you have to keep, you know, where you're getting this material from sourced, right? So this is from Zora Neale Hurston. She's a Black feminist. She's a horrible person when it comes down to her views, but she has this quote, and it's perfectly centered towards us. If you are silent about your pain, they will kill you and say you enjoyed it. So a large amount of men are silent about the pain they went through, whether it be the relationship, whether it be the marriage, whether it be their current situation with their children. Hey, and I suggest, mama. Exactly. Mama issues too. Exactly. Because a large amount of times when you go through divorce, you realize, my ex-wife treated me the same way my mama treated my daddy. Oh, okay. I can't really talk to you about this type of shit. But yes, mama issues too, right? So, but what I would suggest everybody do is find somebody or find an outlet to talk to about this shit. Don't just keep it bottled up, right? Don't do that. I agree 100%. Talk about it, get it out.
I agree. And that's another reason why my platform is here. Actually, the stuff that I do with y'all, talking to y'all, is therapeutic for my situation, because don't think that, you know, I keep my veins covered, but don't think I periodically don't hurt and think about, you know, the situation and what I wish could have been different and everything. And I still self accountability. But like I said, you can't hold in. Cause what I tell y'all, if you keep that anger, bitter, hurt, you're gonna put yourself in a sunken place that you can't get out of, and you're gonna lose. And the baby mama tears still win, and the kids still do what they do. That's real.
And you know what it is. This is the caveat, is because again, every man here who's dealing with this baby mama, you know, you alienation with your kids hate you because whatever the story might be, it hurts. And what makes it even worse, you cannot show that hurt because you know that baby mama terrorists will use that against you too.
Yeah, you're right.
He's really hurt that he can't see his kid. Let me play that trick. That's why, again, going back to keeping them veins cold. You can't show no emotion.
Yep, keep your veins cold. You don't show them, you'll be a fool. You'll be a fool.
Exactly.
I want to give a shout out to RP Awakening Mindset, $5 donation. Keep up the good work. These baby mama tears are destroying good men and their children, doing God's work, G. Appreciate you, fam. I'm going to let my boy, Mr. Cincinnati, jump on in this and state his opinion about the video and whatever else you want to talk about. Go ahead, my brother.
Well, you know, of course, that's happening to me as well. You know, she really already destroyed him at the age of 2. What happened with mine was a little different, where I put in an affidavit because I was the father. I had him on weekends. I put in an affidavit to make sure he didn't get vaccinated or whatever the case is. So my baby mama terrorists go behind my back and against the affidavit and get 7 of them in one day to a 2-year-old. Okay.
Wait a minute. 7 what?
7 vaccinations in one day because he was late. He was late because of me, but we could go behind my back. And then she had court in July. She did it in January, but in July she fought me to do it and won. But she still violated from January when she snuck in the back door and gave him 7 of them. Then 2 weeks later he come in with epilepsy and now he's on the spectrum. Okay, just 2
weeks. He got epilepsy?
Yes, that's what he's diagnosed with now.
Wow.
And he's on the spectrum.
Wow.
But most definitely, it was 2 weeks after she did that.
Wow.
2 weeks, and she said, "Oh, that's not right. Oh, that's not why."
Wow.
No, I got all the evidence. I got a whole video showing all
fucked
the.
up.
I got the documentation because I know I can get it.
And how old is he when he did it?
Well, he was 2 years old at the time. He was 2.
Wow.
It was. I had all the documentation. It was January 17th because I remember he was with me. I had every weekend with him. I had every weekend at that time because I was cool with the BM. I actually got a grandmama terrorist on my hands. Okay, it ain't even the baby mama terrorist. The grandmama came in and shut it down on me. You know what I'm saying? But I had him every weekend because I was cool with my BM. Okay.
Okay.
But, things happen. I really wanted to share some scriptures though, if I can.
Okay, as long as it ain't too long. Yeah.
No, no. Most definitely. It's talking about training up a child in the way he should go, and he would not depart from it. That's exactly what we're talking about right now. You know what I'm saying? When you train up a child in the way he should go, he's not going to depart from it. You already trained him up at 16. It's a training. That right there is Proverbs 22:6. When you train him up in the way he's not going to depart from how you trained him up.
Repeat it one more time.
I'm gonna read it one more. He say right here. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. That's exactly what it says in Proverbs 22:6. And it also talks about, it's like say Deuteronomy, teach them to your children, speak of them. So you're supposed to be teaching your child. The fact that I can't teach my child because this low life magistrate, he is making me break the commandments. He need to be punished for making me break the Almighty told me to teach my kids, but I can't. So who needs to pay for that? I don't, because I want to keep the commandments and teach my child for real. So these people is real low lives. Y'all already know that.
So what's going on now with the grandma terrorists? Because I see you said that this in Ohio, y'all. That the grandma terrorist is the one who in control from the baby mama terrorists. What's going on currently now?
Well, going on currently now is, I'm in the Court of Appeals putting in a motion to dismiss because the grandma terrorist was always terrorizing the mother of my child. In fact, she got 2 pages long full of children's services being called on her for how she abused my baby mama. So that's why my baby mama's scared of her. All right. Got 2 pages full and give it to the court. They don't care about that. She didn't already had abuse on it. And in fact, they erased the whole first page in the court.
Now, wait a minute. The actual mother, she was abused by the mother and she got control over her. Ain't she grown?
Yeah, yes. Well, what happened was when you look at her psychological report, and I got this all on YouTube. Everyone was you look at her psychological report, she's a victim of childhood emotional abuse by a parent.
Okay.
That's what she's being treated for.
Okay.
But the same parent that abused her is the one that they gave guardianship. Now, she was cool up until 2018 when she wanted to do that because she wanted to get all the taxes. She wanted to get all the money. She wanted to come through. She wasn't even in her life for years. I knew her for 7 years. Mama wasn't there at all. Mama don't like her or the grandma. They don't even like each other.
So how did the mother be able to come back and get custody of a grown woman?
Well, she said she would not fight against her. She's scared of her mom. Her mom is a motherfucker.
And how old is she?
Yeah.
How old is she?
28.
Wow. Okay.
She lived by herself, got a car.
Right.
Yeah. She worked downtown. She not really fucked up like that, but she's scared of her mama.
But the grandma terrorist got custody of the little boy?
No. She don't even be around the baby like that. Only thing she do is drive him back and forth. Let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what happened to me, man. This is what happened to me. I was around my child up until 7 months ago, but supposedly lost custody around October of 2019. But I was still around him because me and my baby mom was cool. It was her mother. But since her mother wasn't around, I could always come over and see my baby. I got proof. I was seeing my baby every day because her mama don't only like her. Her mama don't even be around her ass. Don't like her for real. But what happened was, what I did was, I guess she didn't like the fact that I helped her buy a car because the only thing her mama was doing was driving her back and forth, the baby. That's it. So I helped her buy a car, and I'm like, so boom, teaching her how to drive. She cut it off before I can teach her how to drive. In fact, she called a landlord and said the magistrate said that he's an extreme danger to his child. He's an extreme danger. And that's what the magistrates, I'm a teacher, by the way. Let me just show you.
And I was gonna say that they say you extreme dangerous around your kid. And what do you do for a living?
Yeah, I'm a teacher. I've been teaching kids all ages, but right now high school, all ages since 2013.
So if you was really a threat, a danger to kids and minors, you wouldn't be able to be a school teacher because you would lose your license.
And I want them to bring it up. I already told my people, hey, fire me. They need to fire me. If it's true, they need to fire me. If it's not true, then somebody need to. What's going on? So that's basically what's going down with that, man. That's all I want to really say about it.
What's your thought on the video that you seen?
Man, my thought on it was when she talking about it's a package deal and things like that. I have not dealt with something like that. You know what I mean? When it came down to me and my BM, we was good. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that's like I said, when it comes down to like, you not only alienated him from that man, but you're alienating him from his mother and his brothers and his sisters,
exactly,
and his cousins and his auntie and all the people in his family that gonna do for him. Ain't gonna leave him out there, ain't gonna leave him out on the highway or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You can call both sides of the family. Have all, you know what I'm saying? Because most of the time the father got hella motherfuckers on. I mean, in his family, in the same city, and you don't know them. So I really think for her to talk about, and be like that. Okay, well, you ain't gonna be. If you're gonna be there, that's a package deal. Well, you know what? Look, taking the father away from the son is a package deal. Because I'm sure the father's mother probably got hella dough or whatever. Even if she don't, she can watch him. You can be around your baby. You ain't got to worry about him because that's her grandson or whatever the case is. Y'all know where I'm going with this, man.
Right, exactly. Do you think he was wrong for washing his hands and moving on?
Well, what I would say is, when you talk about, and I gotta throw this out here though, Dan, since you said
throw it out.
Now, according to the scriptures, you're supposed to be a father to the fatherless. You know what I'm saying? And the widow. It always talks about the fatherless and the widow together.
Okay.
All right. And yes, you should be a father to that fatherless child. You have to know what you're dealing with. If you're dealing with somebody that's dealing with issues, of course, a big issue is I didn't grow up without a father. A lot of people with issues say that. So yes, you're dealing with a fatherless child who's broken. You got to know what you're dealing with. You can't just, I feel like, if you, whatever positivity you can do from wherever you at, do it. I'm not saying be dumb and just put yourself out there and open yourself wide. Like, come on in my house. I trust you with this. You can have my money over here. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
But I feel like you should, if they down bad or they need some motivation, they need you to be motivate, pushing them forward, maybe a little help, not too much, maybe a little help.
So you saying at least attempt, at least try.
No, I wouldn't say. What I would say is, you know what I'm saying, be some type of positive, because being a father to the fatherless, you get brownie points with all. Now that is a fatherless child. So being a father to the fatherless child, you do get you are doing a good thing. I'm just not. Don't be dumb about it. Don't just say I'm gonna be a total stranger to you. I don't think that's a good thing.
Okay, I understand. I want to hear everybody's viewpoint. Appreciate you, my brother.
Yes,
we got Ken up in the building.
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen? How are you today?
Good, man. What's your take on the video?
My video on take is that this package deal situation is really getting out of hand. And I can explain my situation. I'm calling from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I want to tell Mr. Cincinnati we need to link up because I'm trying to go to school out there for diesel tech, and I need to know some contacts out there. So if you could help me out, I would definitely appreciate it. American Diesel school out in Cincinnati at the Rockville Road.
Oh, let me unmute him.
Yeah, I've been here for 7 years. Like I said, I've been teaching now here, but as long as I've been here, you know what I'm saying.
No, but what I'm saying is that I went on Tinder. Like I said, Tinder's the devil. I'm gonna tell everybody, Tinder's the devil. Everybody know it. I met a Philadelphia cop. 2 weeks later, got her pregnant. All hell broke loose. Yes, I did.
No.
She's a 17-year vet from one of the most crookedest districts in Philadelphia history, the 39th district. Anybody from Philly knows it. And it's been all hell since. Now, remind you, after she got pregnant, she called me all types of I ain't got no money. I make this. What you got to offer the kid? Yada yada yada. You ain't gonna be no good dad, but I was good enough to screw. but all of a sudden I'm good enough to be a dad. Know what I mean? So I wasn't at delivery. I wasn't at delivery. The baby wasn't at delivery. I couldn't prove paternity. Now remind you, now she was married, but still carried her ex-husband last name. Put her ex-husband last name on my son.
Wait a minute.
Turned around, and my son mine. He 100% mine. But now she's sitting there trying to keep me out, alienate me from the son, trying to say me and my ex-husband got trying to get back with me, and when he want to raise his son as your own and all that bullshit. I'm going through the gauntlet. And for the fact is that she don't want to be around me for the fact that I told her straight from the door. One, I don't trust you. Two, you trying to do anything to alienate me from my kid. And plus three, you a cop. You could say anything. You could sit there and say domestic violence, and then here come your male coworkers, and they come cracking their head, and I'm going to jail.
So what made you fuck without a rubber then, bro?
It was the heat of the moment, man. And honestly, for the fact when I first met her, she was suspended. She was suspended for insubordination.
Fuck that shit. You made me drop my hat. Nah. Hell no, G. You just said it. She's a cop. You don't fuck with no cop. I believe that, man. Heat of the passion, man. See, man, that's why I tell y'all can't just jump the gun. I tell you, it might be fine.
No, but here's the thing, Mr. Palmer. Now remind you, right? Now remind you, I was 40 years old in 2018. She was 40 years old. Now she told me she couldn't get pregnant, that and the third. And I'm thinking I'm smoking weed or whatever. I got a little sperm count. Lo and behold, got a son. I said, oh man. And remind you, her ex-husband was trying to get with her been trying to have a baby with her for years. I come into the thing less than 2 weeks, get her knocked up.
Yeah.
You got a cop pregnant who was suspended, so she was an ain't shit cop.
You can't make this shit up,
man. I don't want to be insensitive, but you just made my situation a whole hell of a lot better. I'm gonna be honest.
So honestly, look, gentlemen, I'm telling y'all the truth. I'm not making this up. So I'm let y'all know your situation bad. Y'all can have mine anytime.
Nah, you can have
no. Hell no. Fuck no. I'm good.
I will say this, brother. The reason why she's saying making excuses now that you this and that because her goal is to get you to knock her up and put you out the picture to give it to that nigga that she broke up with or got divorced and want to get back with. I'm telling you, that's what these motherfuckers do. That's why you don't deal with no woman that keeps the man, the ex last name, and they divorce. You do not deal with somebody with that dad shit either. Because if they still got that man last name, they trying to tell you, oh, well, I did it because my son got his last name and I don't want to be by himself. Nah, bitch, that motherfucker.
No, but here's the thing, right? I'm trying to tell her, like, yo, why wasn't that at delivery? Why couldn't see my son birth? I said, I don't know no man that don't want to see his first and only son being born. I don't know no man. She told me a real man would just accept the fact that you got a son in the world. But you showing me pictures of your uncle and your girlfriends holding my son, but I ain't got a picture of my son.
I feel you on that. But the thing is, like, in my opinion, I think once you knocked her up, she's like, I got what I wanted. I'm gone. You got a lot of baby mama terrorists who will, older or young, they will let you knock them up. And then she got money. She got a career. She gone about her business. I don't need you, nigga. I'm independent. And then make some other simp sucker be the new father. And then throw it in your face instead of leaving you alone. That would make it work. They throw it in your face. So let me ask you this: have you been able to see your child or no?
Look, last time I see my son was on last year. Right now, remind you, I go to her house. I said, "When can I see my son?" She said, "You can come up here, come see your son." So she live in the Roxborough section of Philadelphia, which is mostly like racist white meth heads and this, that, and the third. So I get on the block. Now, remind you, the transformer just blew out, so the whole side of the block was pretty much out the light. So I get down to the house. This dude holding my son. Damn. So first thing he said, "Here go your son," and she like, this such and such, and walk back in the house. So I said, all right, then. I said, so remind you, she claims she ain't know my address. I said my address and all of that shit. She's knowing all my shit. Saying she said her whole attention, like, yeah, I want you to go to court. They ain't gonna believe you. I used to work for the court. They ain't gonna handle justice for you, black man. I got all that shit, man.
Wait a minute, is she white?
She black.
Oh, okay. The way she talk like a white woman, but she telling you.
But here's the thing: you gotta understand her background. She grew up in the foster system. She's a child of the Commonwealth.
Hey, brother, I'm gonna tell you this, man. You messing with a cop. She's blatantly disrespecting you. Eventually, you gonna switch up on her. You might end up like a choker. And she a police, man. This is really a situation where you wash your hands and you leave, man. Because that badge gonna get you one way or the other.
Yeah, I have to wash my hands with that one. But have you thought about going to court, or have you tried to go to court?
Yeah, I'll go to court, but what I did was that I honestly, for the fact I'm in the process of going to court now, but the first thing she hollered about is financial support. I'm saying to her, she tried to play me like I'm a crackhead, this, that, and the third. She talking about, you want me to see some cash after some money? But I said, you asked me for financial support. So why? I said, I ain't asked you for anything. I said, you mad for the fact was that I tried to do the right thing when I got her pregnant. I said, can I move? I said, I want to move in with you and try to raise a family as a unit. First thing she said to her mouth, can you afford the $1,800 mortgage? That's the first thing she said to her mouth.
Hey, you 40, bro?
I turn 43 next month.
And she's 40?
She turned 44 in November.
Man, that's too old for that bullshit. But then again, a baby mama Terrence, don't matter what age you are, I tell you that. A brother said, I'm trying to find it. He said white women do the same thing too. White baby mama Terrence is the worst baby mama Terrence of all. They the worst of the worst. So I tell you that facts. They the worst of the worst. Baby mama terrorists. Then these fake ass queens. They number 2.
Oh yeah, the white Karens are the worst ones, like you said.
They're the worst.
But they're smart. They let the black women be like, you go ahead and be the face of this shit while we really get this white man how we wanted to get him. And this white girl, this black woman, they love the attention. So it's like, yeah, we're going to Instagram and play a fool while white Karen doing white man dirty. Like I say, hey, I'm not gonna cape for white folks, because you white, you gonna be all right.
Poor George said, I got one black, one white. Let me ask you a question, Quinn. What's your take on the video that you heard?
Hey man, it's just I look at it as the fall of civilization. It's another example, a package deal. On my first baby mom tried to hit her ex-boyfriend. Tried to do that bullshit. She tried to alienate me out my daughter's life. Come to find out, God don't like ugly. He turned around and had a fucking heart attack.
And who was this?
Oh, this is my first baby mom's this my first baby mom's boyfriend tried to alienate me, talking about this was her new dad and all this shit. God don't like ugly. He tried to alienate me. I was ready to fight in the street and all that back in like early 2008, 2009. God don't like ugly. He turned around and croaked. As soon as he croaked, then all of a sudden you want to be part of your daughter's life again?
Wait a minute, whoa. Wait a minute. No, she didn't.
Yes, she did.
Wait a minute. After the man died, here she come to me, you want to be daddy again?
Yeah.
See, that's similar to what we just saw. And how long was you alienated?
Around almost like 5 years around that time.
And how old was your child at the time?
Around 2000, she's around like 6.
And how old is she now? About 11?
No, she just turned 18. We cool now. Her mom got married or whatever, and she's seeing more on what her mom doing. So and plus she knowing like she coming a young woman, so she need her dad. I told her straight from the door, I always got your back regardless. So it is what it is.
Do your daughter know what it is? She not manipulated and pointing the finger at you, or she kind of like just swept under the rug? She just accepts for what it is.
I mean, she know what's going on, but since she live in her mom's house, she just bite her tongue about it. But when we talk about it outside, she says her little opinion about that.
I got it. I understand. And you in Philly, right?
Yeah.
Man, I'm praying for you, brother, because and it's nothing I want y'all to know. When y'all think y'all got a messed up story, it's always somebody got something worse than yours. I shit you not. You know what I mean? Damn though, man, you that 40-year-old. Damn. Hey man, a cop too? Shit.
No, first I'm thinking it's probably karma, man. I'm thinking right now, who did I offend? Who hard did I break? I'm trying to think.
I get it. But you know, the thing about it is, I told you the worst baby mama Terry is the one that got careers and make money and got power. And she got power and she know that she'll win by her being a fucking cop. And this is another reason why we as men have to definitely dissect who you dealing with, who you messing around with. All that trying to do a one-nighter, meet and greet and shit, it ain't worth it, because you'll go through some shit like my brother Quinn. Thank God he able to see his daughter. You know what I'm saying? But it's unfortunate he got to go through it with the other baby mama Tears. I'll wash my hands and move on. Fuck you. I ain't even gonna lie to you. But I appreciate you for trying to fight. You say you trying to go to court, but you better than me.
Yeah, I don't have sex with some raunchy women, some down bona fide hoes, but I never went for the cop though.
You say never a cop. Yeah. Hey man, Queen, I appreciate you jumping in, but that need to come out because, like you said, she told you that, hey, you try this, you try that. It doesn't matter. I'm a cop. This. Man, be careful with who you're dealing with, and please learn their background. Find out, what's going on in her life, who her mama, who her daddy is, how they is, because that will predict your future dealing with this woman. You know what I mean? So please be careful. And if you're 30 and 40 years old, well, I'm gonna say 40 and 50 years old, you shouldn't be going through this with some new ass kid. You know what I mean? Please keep them rubbers on safety. Shout out to Mr. Griggs up in the building. What's up, my brother? Mr. Griggs, you there? All right, we're gonna skip on to you there? No, he ain't there. We're gonna skip on to Jason Johnson, then we're gonna go to Mr. Perfect Blackness, because I want to say the best for last. Jason Johnson, what's going on, brother? Damn, he ain't there either. All right, Perfect Blackness. You there, brother?
Hey, what's going on, Mr. Palmer, man? Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
All right, man. How's it going to the panel? What's going on, brother?
Man, everything cool, brother. What's your take on the video? I don't know if you saw the video because I know you said you was on your way.
I was listening. I was doing some running around. So I was in and out the car and all that. So, but I pretty much listened to the most of it, and I got the whole gist of it. And to answer your question, if I was him, I'd be like washing my hands at it. I wouldn't even bother with trying to go back in. The boy is 16 years old, like old boy was saying before me, that that's a whole nother person now. You don't know him. He might as well be a stranger on the street. He'd be better off with just washing his hands at it. Now, I will say this: I'll do that, but I will also let her know that, hey, if he wants to get to know me, hey, my doors are open. But I'm not gonna go do no proactive shit and and try to be in his life and all that. No. She needs. That's a bit that she made, and she needs to lay in that son of a bitch. I'm not gonna come. I'm not gonna touch that shit. I'm not touching it. That's something that you fucked up. Then that's gonna be something that you're gonna be the one who fixed it. I'm not gonna come in and straighten nothing out. Now, if the young man want to come back to me, hey, my doors is open. Give him my phone number. We can kind of take it from there. But as far as me coming in and laying down the law after 16 years and you keeping me out of his life because I don't want to be with you, no, bro, that's your bit for you to lay in. That's the brick laid that you laid. So you got to walk that shit. I just wouldn't do it. Period. And I wouldn't have no compunction about it. I wouldn't give it two thoughts.
Hey, what's your take from the guys who's saying, like you said, they say they'll wash their hands, move on, don't even waste your time, give it up, whatever it is, what it is. The boy's already damaged, ain't shit gonna change. You agree, of course, right?
Absolutely. I definitely the most that I would do that would resemble anything of me coming in and trying to fix things, I would give him a few numbers to some therapists. That's about it. Tell that boy we'll get some therapy, and then we can kind of get a father-son type of thing. But you need to go get some therapy, young man, because your mother has royally fucked you up, and I'm not going to be the one to try to fix that shit because I tried to be a part of your life, but now it's too late. You want to go get some stuff to get that mess fixed, and talk to your mama.
All right, let me ask you this, Perfect Blackness. Perfect Blackness has been on my channel quite a few times. He's the one I did last year where he was falsely accused by the baby mama Tears 5 times.
Oh yeah,
different type of sex abuse with his daughter, and 5 times they proved that she was lying, and they still did not give him custody.
DCFS cleared and police department cleared.
5 times he was accused of the same shit, and yet she still got custody. Now, let me ask you this. And you've been fighting for your daughter for years. You still fighting. And what about people who will say, well, you went through 5 false allegations and alienation and shit like that. What if you got somebody that say, well, you still fighting? You should stop fighting for what you doing. Wash your hands and move on.
Well, hey, that would be that would be accurate. But the reason why I've chosen now, I will say this: I'm no more lawyers. I haven't, I fired my last attorney. I'm not paying no more money. I'm just not doing no more of this. Yeah, I got as you know, I got a 2-month-old. I got a wife here. And look, I'm not taking another, $41,000+ over the next 8 years. I'm not doing that. That's not happening. No. Court fees and all that. No, I'm not doing that no more. Now, but me. At the time, at that time, man, when we first split and all that, I was still in the mindset of because when I got divorced and all that, I wasn't in the mindset that I am now.
Of course,
I was in a different mindset. I need to fight for my daughter, do everything that I can, turn every doggone stone, find whatever mountain I need to move, go ahead and move it, and there is no dollar that should be spared to that end. But over the years, man, I've gotten, my position is kind of calcified a bit. So, and I've gotten, I don't want to say jaded. I just kind of look at things I've taken the rosy colored glasses off.
Right.
I've taken it off and I've accepted things for what they are.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you, man, that has been actually good for my mental health to accept things for what they are, and recognize what I can change and what I can't change.
That's what I did.
And I realized that, okay, I'm not going to be able to change the system. As much as I've been trying to fight for 50-50, they ain't going to give it to me, even though I've already proven that I have the better situation in terms of home life, finances, and the whole bit. They're just not going to do it. They're not going to do anything about her and all of these false allegations. They're just not going to do it, even though it's against the law. They're not going to do it. I've accepted that they need basically her to come in and admit that she has lied during this whole time. That's what they would need. So it ain't no point of paying attorneys at that point. It ain't no point of trying to fight. I got about 35%, and maybe I can fight for a little bit more time when she gets older. But my daughter is just 9 years old. So, and she's showing all the signs of being conditioned against me and all of that. She's here today. And I always got to have these little speeches with her when I go pick her up, because she's being used. She's been willingly used as a little information box, going back to tell her mother all kinds of stuff. My ex-wife, she knows my daughter's name now, knows how to spell it and every goddamn thing. So, and I've had to give my daughter a little speech about that shit. And I told her she's going to get punished. And before I wasn't there, but now I'm there, especially now, I got another child. I can't look, if I have to jettison one child, and I've been really thinking about this, I've been really seriously contemplating telling her mother, look, you take the child support off, you can have her, because I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to go through another 10 years of this crap.
And you know what? Funny you say that. When you had your daughter, and congratulations to you, did it kind of change the whole deal with the fighting and struggling and going back and forth to court and the baby mama terrorism?
Absolutely.
And why is that? Why is that? I want the people to know, why is that?
Because, okay, it's kind of, the good thing about being a man, nature gives you more than one shot. Okay, I'm 46 years old. I still got some productive years in my life. I'm not going to spend them all trying to fight. And plus, when my daughter came, when my second daughter came, my mindset was like, you know what? Here's one right here now, because the wife that I have is nothing like my ex-wife. You know what I mean? She is completely for family. And she's from South Africa, submissive, no problem. She does a thing at home.
Mm-hmm.
She don't have to worry, but she don't have to want for nothing. You know what I mean? With that type of reality, man, why would I take that type of money, and not only money and time, out of this home for a child who is steadily been alienated against me, and I get a lot, and she's showing the signs. Slowly, she's showing a lot of signs of being alienated against me
and manipulated.
Exactly, manipulated and everything. I mean, she is under the impression that I don't pay child support, even though I showed her my check stubs what child support is coming out. She still don't believe I pay child support.
And how old is she?
My daughter's 9.
And why would a 9-year-old should even know about a child?
Exactly.
And what state you in, brother?
Oh, Illinois, bro. Chicago, Illinois.
He's in the same place I am, Chicago, Illinois. Good old Chicago.
Man, they don't care, man. I mean, that 50-50, the 50-50 laws is on the books, but it's hard to get to. No matter how much money you spend, man, it's just hard to get to. It's not a good investment, man. Especially if you got other children, dude. If you got other children by other women, and you already in another family, it may not be a good idea to be, especially if the child is young. It may not be a good idea to expend a lot of financial and financial resources and time on a child that you really don't have because of the time issue and the custodial parentalship and all of that type of stuff. Hell, the school won't even talk to me. You know, they won't even give me information about my own daughter.
Wow.
Because they'll go talk to the custodial parent. So if you got a child at that age, you got another family, put your focus in that family, bro. Keep your focus in that family who needs you most because they're there. And if that woman wants to ruin that child, and when your child, and this is another reason why I fought so, because I want to make sure when my child gets older, she will not be able to say that I wasn't there. She will not be able to say that I just abandoned her, that I didn't care. She won't be able to say none of that stuff. And I told her that. So when you get older, if you don't want to have nothing to do with your dad, just know that you did that on your own. And I can go to my grave with peace, knowing that I did it.
Funny that you say that because simply a diva said at first I was off my husband getting his son after alienation after $77,000 and we still in court even when my husband has custody. I should have said fuck that too. I feel for these men, and I have quite a few stepmothers that going through it with these baby mama tears in the courts. I'm gonna have on a show soon and she's gonna tell her story of dealing with the baby mama terrorism. Like she just said, he got custody and the son is still manipulated. He's not a kid. He's 16, 17 years old. And that's why I say you can't make this shit up.
Yeah, by that time, look, by that time, it's time for you just to move on. You know, me and my wife, we planning on having more children. I ain't got time for that. I told my daughter, look, if you want to be a part of this family, you can. But if you want to, I told, don't bring your mother's energy over here because if you do, you won't punishment the whole weekend.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, she would do little shit like when I go pick her up, she would kind of sit, sit as close to the door as possible, as if I'm touching her. Now I told her, I said, okay, well, you do that, you on punishment the whole week. Don't touch a tablet, don't touch nothing. She got right on that. See, I've gotten to the point to where I don't have no more sympathy for that crap no more. Especially
how long this been going on?
Man, it's just been going on, man, for years. It's just been going on for a long time.
And brother, and again, everything you're saying, I feel you, brother. I feel you, and I cannot fault you for trying to fight for your kids. Nobody here gonna fault you for that. You know what I'm saying? Again, my philosophy: girls at 9, boys at 13. I've just seen this pattern play out time and time again. They work on the girls really fast. They work on the girls.
She's at a point where it's almost no return. It ain't really much that I can say to my daughter. She's 9 years old. It ain't really much that I can say to her that will make her that will get her to believe that the things that her mother did was wrong and all of that. And the saving grace that I got from me, man, I got cameras in my home. I had to do that. I had to get camera. I had to fucking solidify my home with cameras all over the goddamn.
Yeah, that's this story again. The only thing that you.
I spent so much. This is my second set of cameras, man, to where they are dedicated wife. I had to go to shit like that, man, to make sure that there can no bullshit ever be said about me.
Yep.
And so that allows me to walk around the house with confidence. Whereas before, man, when I didn't have these cameras, oh my God, I wouldn't go into the bathroom with her. I wouldn't even go in her goddamn room. I wouldn't do nothing. Man, when my daughter was when she was still at an age to where somebody else had to bathe her, I would have to call either girlfriends or sister, somebody to bathe. I wouldn't even bathe my own daughter. That's how bad it got.
Fuck out of here.
Before
Before y'all say something, Willie finna get off, but I want to say what he said. He was talking to somebody in the chat. He said, I'm definitely going to stay in touch. I discovered Mr. Palmer's channel a few days ago, and he probably not even aware as much as he helped me tremendously through this situation.
That's what's up.
Appreciate you, my brother.
That's what's up. And I don't think I don't think a lot of people really has fully grasped just how bad this baby mother terrorism shit has been, man. Because I'm the product of one. My mother was still is a baby mama terrorist. This woman, she's had 8 children, and didn't raise a one, so they were all taken away. Right to this day, it's a minor miracle that any of us, because I'm the most successful I'm the oldest, but I'm also the most successful. I'm the only one that didn't have children out of wedlock. I'm the only one that's been married, divorced, and then married again. I'm still married now. You know what I mean? But the rest of them, a lot of 3 of them, 2 of them is incarcerated. 1 getting ready to go. You know what I mean? The other one's got some mental issues. And this is all because of the bullshit decisions that our mother has made. You know what I mean? Then she has the nerve to tell us that she doesn't owe us any explanation. Imagine that. So look, the black community has to really, it has to really look itself in the mirror about this single baby mamaism. It really do. Otherwise, men like me, I am openly, and I will continue to openly recommend for any black man that has, I'm not talking about any, I'm talking about any type of any black man that's worked, that got his shit on the ball, that's making pretty good money and all of that. Do not stick your dick and put your reproductive material in these women. Don't do it. Especially these black American women, don't do it. Because you will mess around and have your ass in a goddamn hurt locker. And you will definitely need to see some therapy. Because I had to see some therapy behind my ex-wife. Put me through that shit. Because I was literally contemplating murder. I was literally Googling how to murder someone and get away with the shit. That's how bad it got with me. That's how bad it got. So I make no bones. I am open. Yeah, I had to go get some therapy, and I recommend black men, look, go get some therapy dealing with these. Get some. It'll help. I'm telling
brother, you. And again, I've seen your story, and let me tell you this. I'm going to tell you this. Your daughter will put charges on you. You just got this. You already know it. That's why you got.
She's going to be strategic how to do that.
Yeah, you already know it. You already know you got the cameras. Something about you telling you that, hey man, this is a dangerous situation, and it is. Somebody once you start this sexual assault charges, there ain't nothing to play with. And I'm surprised because usually the accusation is good enough to get you. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I got 5 of them, bro. I got 5 of them.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
She told me I had child porn on my computer. Man, it was police officers all up in my goddamn house.
Yeah. And
they took. I told him. I said, look, you had a computer, gave them the password and everything. Next thing I know, I get a letter in the mail clearing me. No apology, no nothing.
Yeah, that would have been the straw that definitely brought the camel's back for me. That's too much. That's too much, man.
That wasn't the worst one. Oh yeah, no. That wasn't the worst one. That was like the second one. That was the second one. That was the second spot. That third one. That was the worst one. She said that I broke my daughter's hymen. That was the worst one.
Yeah.
I went through a whole year and a half. I went through a whole year and a half of supervised visitation behind that shit. And then to get cleared, and then on top of that, after I got cleared, I wound up getting more time.
Yeah.
Nothing happened to her. Nothing, not a goddamn thing. I had an attorney at that time.
Your big brother's a bogus ass bitch, man. That's a bogus bitch.
I fired that attorney after that because he assured me that once I got cleared after that, he said, "Oh yeah, you should be able to get custody after that. You get cleared, you should be able to get custody." Didn't happen. I fired his ass after that.
Hey man, I gotta throw something out there. I gotta throw something out there, man. We need to also be mindful that some of these exhibitions of this type of behavior may not actually be something like a plot of a 9-year-old to get you in jail. It could be a warning sign that that's already happened to her in the past. Not speaking that into existence about your daughter, but in general, when those signs pop up, you gotta watch yourself, because the boyfriends that these baby mama terrorists allow into the home, you don't know what the fuck they're doing with your child.
Facts.
So I'm just being honest.
That's some fucked up ass shit.
That right there, that was, especially with the first, after the first 3, that was definitely what she was trying to do, because that whole case hadn't even been adjudicated. She was making plans to leave the state. She was literally making plans to leave the state.
See, that's all red flags for me. For me, you need to explain this shit with my daughter. Why is my daughter acting like this? You need to tell me what the fuck is going on, because I know it ain't me. So somebody need to tell me something. That's what I would be.
Well, look, like I said, I'm at the point now where it's not that I don't care anymore. Is that I'm not going to take away from my daughter, my wife, in order to try to mend things and fix things and all that from a child who has been damaged, not by me, but by her mother. And the state and the courts have allowed it to happen.
Hey, brother,
I'm not going to do it. I owe my daughter my best, but I also owe my wife and my newborn daughter my best as well. They have a right to my best. And I can't give them my best if I'm chasing up and trying to get more time and this, that, and the other, this, that, and the third. No, I can't do that. It won't be fair for them for me to be taking rent money like I was doing before to pay attorneys, of getting threatened to get evicted and all that because I'm behind on the rent, because I'm paying this attorney, I'm paying court fees, I'm paying for the motions, I'm paying for this. No, I can't do that no more.
How long you going through it, Blackness, with the courts? I know you're still going through it, but how long has it been so far?
Since my daughter was 1. We divorced when she was 1. So basically 8 years.
Now tell them the 5 false accusations that you've been accused of.
The first one was the first one was the child porn. The second one was I was supposed to have beaten her in the home and all of that, but I also had a witness at that time. The third one, that was she said that I had that I broke my daughter's hymen, and she literally doctor shopped. She went to ComEd clinic over on 47th in Berkeley, and they told her there was nothing wrong with her. Then she went to University of Chicago. They told her there was nothing wrong. Then she went to the police station. The police told her that she needed to go to DCFS. Then she went back to the hospital. They didn't do anything. Then she went to DCFS and filed that, and that's when a whole bunch of shit just went into motion. So, and I had to threaten Comer with a lawsuit to release information, because they wouldn't even release the medical records to me, at least not at first. And then she said that I had beaten her in a park right before football practice in broad daylight, and they said there was actual witnesses and all of that, which it never was. And they said that the police was called. There was no record of the police ever being called on me. So, and that was actually said in open court. Nothing ever happened. Right. The fourth and the fifth one were actually the most ridiculous ones because they came like back to back on top of each other. She said that it was real vague. She said that I had been touching her to some of that degree, and it was because these allegations. All you gotta do is call. You can call anonymously. Right. You can just make anything up, and it'll put a whole bunch of stuff in motion. So it was said that I did some type of touching her or something of, and DCFS came out to my home again, and they cleared me pretty quick. And then no, Miss Mark, this is 6, because on the 5th one we actually went to court on, and when we was actually in court, and the judge ordered, because he was wanting to know why was my daughter saying. He actually said in open court he didn't think that I did anything, but he wanted to get to why my daughter was saying certain things that was obviously wasn't true, that I was able to prove wasn't true. So he actually had the therapist, and that documents the medical documents that I sent you, Mr. Palmer.
Yeah.
That was right. That was the study, and the judge said it was full of conjecture and all that. So he wanted my daughter to see an independent therapist. No, he appointed the therapist. That Monday, I get a call from DCFS about another charge. So we still trying to I haven't even gotten the clearance letter from the fifth one, and there's a sixth one on top of that one. Now the strange things with this one, this time she didn't go downtown and do because whenever you do those, you can get a temporary restraining order and it'll stop the visitation, because that's what I've been dealing with. Every time she make an allegation, the visitation stopped, and I got to prove myself innocent and all this other bullshit, right? But this time that didn't happen because she didn't go down, and the reason why she didn't, because she knew it was going to go before the same judge, and she knew that judge wasn't going to go. He wasn't going to have it. That was going to be a problem for her. So she didn't go downtown to do a restraining order. And believe it or not, the DCFS workers, when she called me, she asked me to voluntarily pause my visitation. She asked me to pause my visitation. I said, no, your client can go downtown like she's been doing, file her case, get the temporary restraining order, get all that done. She has every right to do that if she wants. But I'm not going to pause my own visitation with my child. I'm not going to do it. So the sixth one, it still has not been adjudicated yet. And that's because her attorney, because now I'm pro se. So now they're kind of taking advantage of that. They haven't, I'm about to file an appearance because I want to file for status. But again, I'm really not keen on really paying too much money right now. So I'm at the point where I just kind of let that shit go. If they want to keep it in limbo, because I know they're afraid to bring it in front of the judge, because if we go in front of the judge again, I'm going to tell him that, Your Honor, that, right when you appointed the independent doctor, I don't want to say a name on here, but, the accuser, she has made another accusation. And he's going to want to get to the bottom of that one, too. And that's going to be a problem. So, but right now, I don't want to spend any more money on any more motions, because I know I can.
Family, you ain't got to spend money on no motions, fam. That's against the Constitution. Now, the thing, they can get caught in the court of claims because they're not supposed to charge you for motions. They don't charge me for motions no more because I let them know about that. They still do me dirty. But they don't do that no more because I checked them on that.
Where are you from?
I'm from Cincinnati.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here, and I'm telling you from experience. When I had attorneys and all that, and they would ask, I said, "You want me to go ahead and do this? You want me to file this motion?" And I was at, how much is it going to be? Well, it's going to be this, but I can roll and file it.
Let me tell you what to do with the motion. Just send it in certified mail. They cannot reject it off money's sake. They're gonna say something to you in court, but the fact that you sent it in certified, they have to honor it. Because they signed off on it that they received it, and they cannot stop justice because of money. That's something they can't do. They can't do that.
Personally, brother, I understand that, but again, I'm at a point to where I just don't want to spend any more energy on this anymore. There's a lot of things I can do, especially with the last one, but I already know how it's going to turn out. The way this is going to turn out, the judge might get upset with her. He might ask her some questions and all that. Then he's going to warn her like he did before, and nothing's going to come of it. Nothing's going to come of it. So I really don't want to spend a lot of time on it. I'm just going to chalk it up to the game. I've been going through this for too long.
I understand that though.
So I just don't want to. I got too much other stuff going on. With my daughter. Right. We got to get her shots and all this other shit and all this type of stuff, man. Look, I really don't have time for it.
Right.
I don't want to be spending, all this time because I'm, I got to do all this shit myself now. Got to put a lot of thought into that. I just don't want to do that right now. I just don't.
Man,
I just don't.
I understand. I want to give a shout out to Antoine Brown Sr. He said, "Shit, I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm still in the middle of my divorce, but Mr. Palmer helped me avoid child support. I pushed for the 50-50 shared parenting. My soon-to-be ex signed and agreed to it. Congratulations, my brother."
My ex-wife told me outside of the courtroom that she was soon to go to and this was her stupidity saying and talking, but she said she was soon to go to the Supreme Court rather than give me 50-50.
I bet, because you got to spend that bread.
Mm-hmm. And the reason why they wanted to cap it at 35% because when you get around 38, 40%, I don't know how it is anywhere else. You get around 40%, they start to treat it as 50-50.
Yep.
And it greatly reduces child support.
Yep.
That's why she's fighting that 50-50.
Yep. In Illinois, y'all, in Illinois, I just want y'all to know, if you're in Illinois, if you get 40% of overnights with your kids, it's gonna be automatic equal parenting.
Yep.
So you know.
It greatly reduces the amount of child support.
And that too, because you still pay. You still pay.
No, it's significant. Because I know how much I'm paying. It will probably go down, maybe, definitely, it'll be under $100.
Right.
If I got 50-50, it'll be under $100. I'm paying way more than that now, but still, it'll greatly because I know she's counting on it.
Oh, of course, that baby mama tears for you.
She's counting on it.
Yeah.
There's been times that I've had gaps of employment.
Yeah.
And, she would they would not decent, but the child support, they would call her, let her know. I know because we talked through Talking Parents. We've been talking through Talking Parents for years now, and she'll send me a message. I haven't gotten any support. I kid you not. So look, I'm at a point now, man. I'm kind of done with it. Now. If I, but for my wife and my new kids, I'll probably be fighting this shit. I'll probably be right back in court. I probably would have not let it go on this long on that 6-1. I would have been real anxious to get the judge to get it in front of the judge and tell the judge, look, Your Honor, before you even got this case adjudicated, she didn't came up with another one. But this time she didn't come downtown to do a emergency restraining order. Why is that? If it is true that I actually hurt my child, she should be doing this a restraining order like she's done in the past. But she didn't do it this time. So I can go in court and say all this stuff, and the judge he's gonna ask. If nothing else, he is gonna explore it, but he's not gonna really do too much because this particular judge, I think Ms. Palmer, you said a judge told you the same thing, but my former lawyer told me that the particular judge that I have, he's really not in favor for men having any type of overnights. He's not in favor of it too much.
See. Yep. Can't make
it. Took a long time to convince him to give me the 35. And actually, the mediator recommended that. Believe it or not.
Oh, of course. They all work.
The mediator recommended 35%. And so he went ahead and went with it. I was trying to get 50-50. Media said no, he's gonna recommend, but she's gonna recommend 50. She's gonna recommend.
And mind you, brother, you was married. You did it the right way.
Oh yeah, I was married.
You was working. She was at home. She didn't have to work. And
have to work nothing.
Right. Yeah, you go through a divorce. She live in a great grandma basement, and you still get primary custody.
Yeah, and I could have, hindsight is 2020. I should have played this real dirty, because I know her grandparents. They are the hoarders. And I know it because I've been over there several times. Her grandmother's the one who married us, who signed our marriage license and all of that. They're hoarders, and I know my daughter and her. They were living there for a while. I could have really played dirty and had a wellness check called over there while she was there, and that would have been bad for her. But see, I wasn't in that mindset at that time. I was just trying to be a good father and get some time. And at the time they had called it joint custody, so I got in joint custody, right after the divorce. So it wasn't a lot of this chasing me down for, for child support or anything like that. All that was done right during the divorce. And at the time I was getting my daughter every weekend. I was getting her every single weekend. She would have it during the week. I would have it during the weekend.
Can I interject something real quick? I've been listening to this story and it's just got me pissed off to the motherfucker. I gotta say this, man. I make close to $200,000. I'm chilling out. I'm relaxing. I'm in a nice little environment. My job is remote. But if anybody ever accused me of touching my child, I'm making national news. If anybody ever touched my motherfucking child, I'm taking my nice little life. I'm balling that shit up. I'm putting it in the trash can, and I'm making international news. If the cops catch this motherfucker who touched my child, I'm committing a crime in that jurisdiction to make sure I'm in the same jailhouse as this motherfucker, and I'm finding this motherfucker to beat their ass. There is no way in hell. You better than me, my dude. You are better than me. Because trust me, I don't give a fuck when it comes down to that type of shit.
Well, like I said, during that year and a half, man, I was in a real bad place. I was in a seriously bad place. I was seriously contemplating things. I was putting a lot of thought to different stages on how I was going to do this. I mean, really, I really was, man. I was really in that mindset. I had to get out of that. I really did. I was waking up at night, going to bed late, and all this other type of stuff, trying to figure out ideas. And all. That's how bad it got for me. It got.
Congratulations to you for getting through that and still trying to have a relationship with your child. Like, honestly, I would not have gotten to that point. I know me. I would not have gotten to that point. I would not have had that patience to go through what 5? Nah, hell no. You wouldn't have been able to say 1. That would have been it for me. Like, honestly, that would have been it for me. The fact that she went through that shit 5 times, nah, man. Nah. So you are a better man than me. You're a better man than most. I'm just say that. You're a better man than most. Not just me. So keep doing what you're doing, my dude. Keep doing what you're doing.
I want to give a shout out to Mark Allen for the $4.99 donation. You brothers are scaring the hell out of me. Shake my head. I'm glad I got the uncontested divorce from that witch. No children. Stay strong, brothers. Salute to you, fam. One more time. I want to let Greg talk. Jason Johnson, and then Face Facts. Then I'm gonna cut it short, man. I'm getting pissed off as I listen to this shit all over. Mr. Griggs, you there?
I ain't trying to piss
nobody off. Can you hear me?
No. I need it. No. I want you to tell your story. I'm just saying that you just can't make this shit up, though. Mr. Griggs, what's going on, brother?
Nothing much, Mr. Palmer. How you doing?
I'm good, man. What's
right.
your take on the video that we saw first? Then you could, jump to what you've been hearing.
Okay, well, like you said, bro, she's a terrorist. You know what I mean? How in the hell you gonna want your son's father to come back into his life 16, 15 years later and do any kind of correction? That's just not gonna happen. That's you want somebody to take the weight up off of you, and you want this man back in your life, and you want to make him miserable at the same time. It's all a game.
Right.
But I called y'all tonight, and I wanted to tell you about my situation. I'm in Ohio too, but my baby mama disappeared with my son. He was 1 year old. He's 9, and I haven't seen him since he was a month old. And this is how this went down. Okay, she had a baby. I signed a birth certificate. She even named him after me. He's the second.
Okay.
Now, her family got involved. People I have never met until the baby was born. And all hell broke loose. They was acting funny. They was digging in my past. And when they heard some things about me they didn't like, that's all they needed. We don't want him coming around. She lived in her aunt's house, mind you. Her aunt owned the house, but she was living there rent-free. Her aunt owned a car that she was driving because she was making the payments. So they had her up under her under their thumb. So when I started to want to come and see my son, I wanted to take him to see my mother. My mother was elderly. I was 40 at the time. She was 28. My mother just passed away in October. She never laid eyes on him. So when I was going to see him, and I was like, I want to take him to see my mom.
Hey, your phone going in and out, bro. Might have lost him.
That bullshit. So
hey, bro. Hey, your phone going in and out.
Oh, fuck. Hello?
Yeah, the last thing we heard, would you say your mom passed?
Yeah, my mom passed, so she never laid eyes on me. I'm cruising down I-70, man, leaving out of Baltimore. I'm truck driving. So I might have to go back. Man. But, my mother never got to see him, so I know.
Hey, you gonna have to come out and come in, bro, because Oh, I did knock him out. He'll come back. Jason Johnson, you there, bro?
Yeah, I was just talking to my uncle the other day. He told me something that you just played the video.
Yeah.
He said he told his baby mother he didn't want to deal with her. He just wanted to see his daughters and that's it, and his son. He said as he dropped his daughter off, he was walking down the stairs. She opened the door and said, "I got something for you. Being that you don't want to be with me, you can't have your daughter." And she punched the daughter in the face and then slammed the door and locked the door so he won't fuck her up.
She punched the daughter in the face?
Huh?
You said the mother punched the daughter in the face?
She punched one of his favorite daughters in the face.
Why would she do that?
Because he didn't want to be with her. And then she ran in the house and locked the door.
Did he call the police?
He couldn't call the police because he had a warrant.
Oh man.
And he said, so what he did was he called child services anonymously. And you know them motherfuckers, they side with the baby mama terrorists. They see bruises and they act like they don't see shit. Cause after he cleared up the warrant, he wanted to get custody of the kids. They wouldn't give him custody, but she ended up losing the kids to the state. And I'm like, wait a minute. Why wouldn't y'all get a father of the kids, but y'all give them to the state?
Because they
make this man
more money.
Because it's more money, exactly.
More money,
yeah,
bro.
That's what I was about to say. Because basically the state was charging him more than what the mother was getting. So now,
is this in New York, bro?
Yup, New York City.
How did I know that?
Yeah. So after so it was another case. Now this is what the other brother was talking about. With the you can't make up for lost time. His daughter came back. His daughter mother did the same shit. She said, if you don't want to be with me, you ain't never seeing your kids. So he said, fuck it, I can make more. So 17 years later, his daughter is pregnant in child services in a group home. So he tried to take his daughter to his house and say, listen, you're gonna rock this way, you ain't coming in my house late, all that stuff you've been doing at your mom's, that's not going on here. She came in the house late one time. He took her ass right back down to the state.
No.
He wasn't having that shit. And he was like, you can call me cold all you want. I'm not condoning no disrespect from a child, especially any of mine. He said,
how old was the child?
She was 17 and she came and she was pregnant by some Chinese dude. She was pregnant and she thought she was going to disrespect my godfather. She thought she was going to disrespect my godfather, walk up in his house late. Man, he took her ass back down to the state. And it was only one time she did it.
That's all it takes.
You know, so he was like, fuck it, you know. So like I'm all with that, fuck that. Like my godfather always say, ain't nothing worth my peace of mind, not even a fucking child. I can make more. He was dead ass serious.
That's the mindset that I'm in. I can make more. That is exactly the mindset that I'm in. My wife is 20, 25. Oh yeah, we can make more.
Well, I don't want no more.
My baby mom's tried to do that child services shit. She thought that was gonna get me to come back home. I said, fuck that. I let her keep calling, and then I went down and filed a police report, and they went to ACS and found out who was the worker, and they went to the house that she thought she was gonna get arrested. They knocked on the door and said, next time you call child services, you're gonna be arrested. She ain't called child services again. She was pissed the fuck off because I didn't want to be with her, and I was moving on with another female. She couldn't take the shit, so she wanted to try to play the fake rape allegations against my stepdaughter. A stepdaughter that I raised while her fucking father was in prison. You would have think I got credit for that, but that bitch is sitting up there worried about herself.
Yeah, that's how it happens, man. That's
can't make this shit up, man.
That's how that stuff happens because my ex-wife did me that way.
I was decent enough to marry the bitch before I even got her pregnant. So the marriage shit don't even work.
No. Mm-mm. I mean, so my ex-wife did me like that. The minute that she found out that I was dating, oh man, that completely turned her, man.
Yo, Palmer, did I ever tell you about my aunt?
Oh,
Oh, her baby father is a cop, and he even after he got fired on purpose because he knew the bitch was gonna go down to child support. So he got fired on purpose for coming in late all the time. Every day he just started coming in late after they marriage failed. Yo, this bitch got mad because he went into court with owing her $80,000, and she was pissed off that motherfucker walked right the fuck back out of there because the judge honored police, ex-police officers. She thought he was going to get locked up.
he had a right judge because some of the judges don't care if you're a cop or not.
Well, she said she crying about $80,000. She ain't got it, and she talking about why is this man not in cuffs?
Are these black people we talking about?
Huh?
Are these black people we talking about?
Yeah, black. Yeah, they both was cops, both of them.
Oh, well, that's why they both cops. Shit.
She fucked up because she ended up fucking she fucked the police chief, the Brooklyn police chief, and he put her ass in the newspaper as a whore and turned the whole police department against her ass.
Damn, this in New York too?
Yeah, this is the same aunt up in New York.
Damn,
Did she get fired?
Nah, she ain't get fired. She just got put on desk duty for the rest of the time that she was in the police department.
Damn. Okay. I'm gonna let Mr. Grizz.
Drove her crazy.
I'm gonna let Mr. Grizz get back to talking. Then I'm gonna go and shut this down, man. We almost at the 3-hour mark. Hey, bro, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm here, man. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on out here.
Okay, you were saying we get back to what you say. Your mom passed. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, my mom just passed in October. She never got to see my son.
That's sad.
It is, man. It's horrible. And but this is how this went down with her. You know, she had a baby. Her family got involved. People I didn't meet until the baby came around. You know, and there was just very nasty people. And like I said, she lived in her aunt's house rent free. She was paying her rent a little bit. Her aunt owned the title to her car, but she was making the payment, so they had her up under the thumb. And so I noticed that when I was coming around, they didn't want me around. You know, they wasn't. You know, she was like, "My aunt don't want you over here. This is her house. She got the right." And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take you to court for my son. So I went down to child support in Ohio, and I filed for a blood test because I was gonna take her to court for visitations. Now, you know, I'm old school, so back in the day, they used to always say, you know, get it documented that this is your son through DNA, blah, blah. You know, when you take him to court, you be ready. So I went down to child support and I said, ma'am, I would like to file for a blood test because I want to take her to court for visitation. She said, Mr. Griggs, this is how this is going to work. She said, when you file for this blood test, she said, your name is going to come off the birth certificate until paternity is established. She said, once it's established, if it comes back and he's your son, your name automatically goes back on the birth certificate. If he's not your son, your name remains off the birth certificate. I'm like, cool. I knew he was mine. She sent the letter back like she didn't live there anymore. And basically, Ohio just said there's nothing they can do. I'm like, hold up. If she was filing for a paternity test, there was nowhere on earth I could have ran that y'all wouldn't have found me. So you could tell me that this woman could disappear with a whole baby after the father filed for a blood test, and all y'all doing is throwing your hands up in the air. I'm like, I don't understand that, and I have no rights to him. I tried to call down to Columbus, wrote letters. And it was like, you know what? If you're not listed as his father, you have no rights to him, no records, no nothing. Because my name is on the affidavit of birth. I think that's how it's pronounced, called what it's called, the birth affidavit. You know what I mean? The original birth certificate. My name is on that, but I can't get a copy of it because I'm not listed as his father anymore because my name isn't on the birth certificate. And she don't have no social media, and I've been going down to child support in Youngstown every month, sometimes 2 and 3 times a month. The lady got tired of me coming down there, and just before she quit, she called me. My case manager, she called me in her office and she said, "Abe," she said, "I hope you find your son." And she said, "I'm about to quit this job." She said, "Here's all the she gave me all the information that she had on her social security number, my son's social security number, shit I wasn't supposed to have. But she gave it to me anyway. She was like, "Because this is fucked up." She was like, "There's nothing I could do." She said, "It's a loophole in the system that, you know," and I just figured that out. Like, you cannot file for a paternity test or file for a blood test, and if your name come off the birth certificate, that's a loophole. She could bounce and not even and then now you just stuck holding your dick.
It's not a loophole. It's a feature, my dude. In testing, you always ask whether it's a bug or a feature. Some of these defects that you guys see with technology ain't really a defect. It's a bug. It's a feature. That's a feature of the system, not a loophole.
And they're lying when they say they can't find her. They got the parent locator over there with child support. The social security number, you can find anybody that uses it. If you use the EIN number, they can't find that. But child support can find anybody with the social security number. It's the Social Security Act, Title 4D of the Social Security Act. It's child support. So that's why they can find you if you use that social security. So if you have her social security, they can find her. They're lying.
Yeah,
I also want to say Mr. Palmer was right about that cop stuff.
Man, you can't make this shit up. Let me give a shout out to Michael for the $1.99 don't super chat. Appreciate you, my brother. So Mr. Griggs, so what's been going on now? I know you said you be going out there every month. What's been going on now? You ain't getting no information, no feedback, no nothing.
Well, since I just got the information, it wasn't that long ago that I just got it, and I've been looking her up. I found out that she was in Whitmer, South Carolina.
Okay.
And I called down there, and I talked to the people at their child support and all of that in the courts. And they was like, "You know what? We'll get back to you." They called me back a couple of days later, and they was like, "Are you willing to pay child support?" I'm like, "Fuck no."
So they want to make a deal and shit.
And she said, "Well, yeah." She was like, "The mother doesn't want to have, don't want to do this at the time." And South Carolina is one of those states where where they're gonna force you to come back. You know what I'm saying? It's like a safe haven for mothers to run to with your child, and ain't shit, the state that she come from can really do anything about it.
Damn. That's crazy, man. My boy RD's in North Carolina, man.
And
so whatever county, go to the county clerk. Go to the county clerk. Together. Go whatever county she in, go to the clerk's office website and type her name in. If she got a driver's license, if she got a driving infraction or anything, it's gonna be in the county the county clerks. They're gonna have it on her ad, and you can find her address. All right, I'm throwing.
You heard what he said, Mr. Griggs?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
I just been
the
trying
county
to get
clerk.
my shit together, man. I got my CDLs, trying to save up to get my own truck, because I'm going to find my son. I don't care how long it's going to take. I'm going to find my boy. And I'm just hoping that he ain't damaged, and she can turn into one of them babies, and, he gay and all this old dumbass shit. But I'm getting my shit together so when I find my boy, I have my ducks in a row, and I can, be a good father to him, man, and teach him some red pill shit, because it's hard out here for us, man. We got feminism and women against us. We got to come together, man, and figure this shit out. Thank you, Mr. Palmer, for standing up, for men, and putting this information out here, because we need it.
I appreciate you, my brother. Hey, man, you on the road, man. You definitely be safe. Respect to the truckers, the blue collars, you know what I'm saying, high value, man, for as I'm concerned. Hey, man, I'm glad y'all came on here. I'm glad, you know, Mr. Bennett, I'm letting y'all know Mr. Bennett, he said he was gonna come on, but he's waiting till his wife go to sleep. So I told him to email me. Maybe we can have him on sometime before the weekend or this weekend, and I'll do an interview with him on his take, because, you know, he disagree with a lot of things that we speak on, and he have a different opinion. One of the reasons because his situation. So we definitely want to dissect and talk about it. Hey, Mr. Griggs, before you hang up, Simply a Diva said, I can find her. Email me at lockandkeyhomes@gmail.com. Email her. I know her personally. She means what she say.
Okay, you know what? Ask her to please go to my channel. I have my own little channel. I ain't made a video in a while, but could she please leave that information for me on one of the videos? And
Type your information. Type your information if you can in the comments. Can you type it in the comments?
Yeah, there's a chat. There's a chat to this.
Put it in the chat, and I could put it up. I could put it up on the screen.
You talking to me, Mr. Palmer?
Yeah. What type in if you can you type in your YouTube on the comments, and I could put on the screen. Are you able to or not?
I'm not able to do nothing right at the moment.
Okay. What's your YouTube?
Abe Griggs.
Spell it, because I don't want to spell it wrong.
ABEGRIGGS.
All one word?
No, separate. ABE, Abe, and GRIGGS. My last name, Griggs.
Oh, it's just your name. Okay, I thought it was something different. Okay.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Palmer, I got some more talk for you, man. You know, I told you on another video, I paid off my child support for my daughter. So I did do that with my other child, man. And you know, I got some stories for you. So I'd like to come back on and give y'all some information.
Definitely, if you can, whenever you get time, when you look at the video again on one of the other videos, you'll see my email. Definitely email me, put your name there, give me your number. We'll definitely talk.
Absolutely.
Oh, look like Gail found it. This is A Griggs YouTube page. Simply a Diva. This is YouTube. Send them that ASAP. So y'all can definitely talk, and hopefully can find out what's going on with the baby mama terrorists. Now y'all already know.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna shut this down because it's almost at the 3-hour mark. But before we go, you already know that baby mama terrorist that was in the video that chose single motherism took the man out the picture for 14 years because she said, if you're not gonna be with us, the package deal, then you can't be around your son. And now she come back 14 years later, that the child's acting up and everything else, even though she says she knows why he's doing it because the father's not around. She want him to come back, and again she says, hell, if you're not gonna take us, then you can't be around him. Is she innocent or guilty for causing all this fucking havoc and alienation because she was selfish, low life, don't give a shit about the motherfucking son? You tell me. Jaylon says guilty. D says guilty as fuck.
Guilty.
Wise, yeah, I got it right this time. Wise says guilty. The kid's dad says guilty. I ain't gonna do the ding because it's gonna be quite a bit. Tim Howard says guilty as charged. Hologram,
man,
guilty.
What are y'all talking about, man? This is an African queen. Of course she's man. She's guilty.
Okay, yeah, I'm about to say get the fuck out of here. Fred the Jammer says guilty. Gail Lockett, the district attorney, says guilty. Life Learner says guilty. Daniel Williams says guilty as sin. You ain't never lied, brother. Michael says guilty. Choo Choo says guilty, that punk bitch. Facts. Roger Connor says guilty as fuck 100%. Dren says guilty. Even B Candy says guilty as charged. Mental OG says guilty as fuck. Antoine Brown Sr. from Ohio says guilty to the fullest. The Steel Curtain says guilty is charged without prejudice. Oh, you talking about Mr. Burnett? He said he gonna come on. He gonna email. I'm gonna do a show and have him on. He could state his case and what he went through and what his situation. We could definitely dissect because I'm about to jump off. The Steel Curtain said, "Oh, I said already. Guilty is charged without prejudice." That's a good one. Hey, Hologress, I ain't even heard most of it. Guilty. Oh man. Game of Lives Matter. The bailiff say, even though I'm late to the courthouse, she is guilty of all charges, and that Officer BMT is guilty as well. You ain't never lied. She is guilty. I appreciate you, the Renaissance chick. Thank you for your support. Supreme says guilty. Sentence her to the firing squad machine, the machine gun Kelly style. Andre says guilty, punk ass bitch. Phantom says guilty to the highest level of guiltiness. You ain't never lied. Hey, none of your business. Is this motherfucker innocent or guilty?
Guilty.
Facts.
Obviously.
Facts. Cincinnati, is she innocent or guilty?
It's time to sentence her. Guilty.
Guilty. Lou Business says guilty at best. Mental OG says Salone. Shout out Salone to you as well, brother. And assalamu alaikum to all the ox out here. Appreciate y'all tuning in and blessings to you, my Christian brothers and sisters. Simply a Diva says guilty. Perfect Blackness, innocent or guilty? Oh, he ain't about the computer screen, but I already know his answer would be, and I'm gonna say it for him. Guilty. We got Kareem up in the building. He said life sentence of baby mama terrorism. You ain't never lied. And yes, she is guilty, 100% guilty. She was tried by the people of her peers. Hey, Perfect Blackness, you back?
Yeah, my fault, man. I had to step out.
Bro, I understand. Is she innocent or guilty?
Guilty as fuck, man. What are you talking about?
And that's why I just told y'all. I said it for him. He said he would say guilty. Antonio Trey said, in the words of Judge Dredd, guilty. And yes, we do sentence her life in prison. And while she's up in there, we give her that Machine Gun Kelly.
Lord knows I thought about it.
She died in jail. Fuck her.
That came from his soul, y'all. That came from his soul.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Hey, man, it's unfortunate that our situations and people's situations here is so sad that you got to joke so you can stay sane. You know what I mean? But when it's all said and done, it ain't shit funny, but we have to do that by keep our veins cold and get ourselves right. Let us know we're in a community where we could speak out, vent, and don't get no repercussion from it. You see what I'm saying? I see we got I Am Me says guilty plaintiff incriminated herself through own admission, of course, but a lot of people say she ain't did nothing wrong. I understand he did leave y'all, but that's like I said, a baby mama terror supporter. She's simp enforcer. So, hey man, I appreciate y'all coming in. I don't know if I'm gonna be on tomorrow. I'm not sure, but if I don't be on tomorrow, I'll definitely be on. What's tomorrow? Thursday? No, tomorrow Friday.
Friday.
If I don't be on tomorrow, then I'll definitely be on Saturday and Sunday. But I'm gonna try to come on tomorrow. Running for child support is a hell of a job. I shit you not. It is. I gotta sleep on my couch. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all. We definitely gonna continue to cook and expose the bullshit that's going on, and we're definitely gonna help one another mentally. At least that.
Hey, Mr. Palmer, can I tag it with one last thing, my dude? One last thing.
Go ahead, brother.
All right. So you got black men in jail That's in accordance with white supremacy. You got single black men like you, myself, like the other people on here trying to make it, trying to do what we're trying to do legally out of jail. But then we got the trap of possibly having a child. Then we have the married men who are right in the line of fire of this same sort of scenario. You know what it is? You know what I think about? I think about your friend, Bernard Riley. That's his name, right? Bernard
Riley.
He spent $40,000. Right? Defending that situation. What if he had invested that in cryptocurrency?
Facts.
What if he invested that time, effort, energy, and money into something else? That's what they're sucking from us. That's what they're actually sucking from us.
And the lead attorney said, you have to think about that. Remember, lead attorney said, for those who saw it, he said he let the people know that it could be a bad investment. 9 out of 10 is going to be a bad investment because you're not going to get what you want.
Exactly.
He said that.
Now, I was on the Poor Man's podcast and I gave him hell because I wanted to get that point across. This is not just random. This is targeted. Everybody else get the fire, but they trying to really fuck us up, and the numbers prove it. So keep your heads up high. For those who are trying to make a black family, I support you. But for those who are done, just keep your heads up and try your best to make it through day to day.
Appreciate you, my brother. And I also want to give a shout out to Unity Ghost says guilty of the first degree felony of a baby mama terrorist. Hey man, I appreciate y'all tuning in, and like I said, I'm gonna keep coming with stories and stats and cook and one-on-ones and everything, because I ain't stopping the motherfucking thing, man. And y'all definitely hold y'all heads up and just know you're not alone, and the shit is real. And shout out to the women and the mothers and stepmoms that definitely understand where we're coming from and support what's going on, and also in the trenches with these baby mama terrorists. You know, y'all definitely hold y'all head up, because y'all don't have to be involved in that. Y'all can walk away just like that, but y'all choose to still support your husband or your significant other. So shout out to y'all as well. I'm not gonna hold y'all no longer, man. I'm gonna pop up off this. I appreciate y'all staying in the live, man. I think we had a good dialogue, long, but I don't care. Soon I'm gonna be doing pre-recorded videos as well for those who can't stay on a long time. But the dialogue be so good, I forget about how long we'll be on there until I realize, like, damn, like we had 3 hours. Let's go and shut it down. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Donna Adams. Please keep doing what you're doing. Appreciate you, sister, to the fullest. Like I say, you can't make this shit up, man. Raven Knight, great show. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
We need more sisters like that, though, for real. Trust me, we need more.
Yeah, we do. We do. That's why you remember when I started, it wasn't number men on here.
Yeah.
But after doing an interview with Angela Stanton King, I realized I think I need to add more women on here. And then I even want the baby mama Taz to come on here to state their case, so we can learn from this clown.
Yeah, we need to get some of them on there, man. We need to get some of them.
Yeah, we had a few already so far, but like I said, and I try to show them respect, and we just learn from and go from there. I also want to give a shout out to Choo Choo. He sent a $5 donation on the Cash App at $7.58. I see it, brother. Appreciate you. So yeah, if I don't be on tomorrow, I'll definitely be on Saturday. And Blackness, I'll give you a call. But y'all definitely be safe here. Shout out to the DA and the bailiff. Appreciate y'all to the fullest. And y'all be easy, man, and y'all be safe out there, man.
Peace.
Yes, sir. Peace out. All right, y'all. Once again, I appreciate y'all coming on the show. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate y'all that don't agree with what I talk about or don't agree with everything. I appreciate y'all that still come on here anyway to try to come with some type of understanding or even come on a common ground. I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. And shout out to your boy Roy for at the last moment, $4.99 donation. Take this before you go. Salute you, my brother. Appreciate you. But like I said, man, we definitely have to speak. We definitely have to call it out. We definitely have to tell our stories, because I don't want to see men getting set up for failure and going to a sunken space where they commit suicide or homicide. We definitely got to talk about it and tell our stories, because we got to release the pain, the hurt, the suffering, and the bitterness, you know. So y'all definitely see, they go lose business. $4.99. Take this too, my brother. Appreciate you, man. Y'all help me in a lot of ways. It's therapeutic as well. But like I say, we definitely got to keep them veins cold and change the laws in our mind. And y'all definitely be safe out there, man. Like I say, if I ain't on tomorrow, I'll definitely be on I'll definitely be on Saturday. So I ain't gonna hold y'all up. Bitch found guilty. Let's lock that door one more time, and also X that motherfucker out. And I end up getting 3 dislikes, and I appreciate it. I did the first 2. So for this last one, all I'm gonna say is,
bitch, fuck all y'all.
yes. So y'all definitely have a good night, man. I'll definitely holler at y'all. I'm Mr. Palmer, and this conversation is over. Fuck child support. Peace.
Baby mama terrorist. BMT. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. Riding around trying to play the role as innocent with an evil soul. In public wearing fake hellos, behind closed doors she rocked them horns. I moved on, she wanna teach me a lesson. Can't see my kids, man, I'm stressing. Couldn't see my son to give me his present. She got married to teach me a lesson. Telling people she did nothing wrong, knowing that well since I moved on. Thought that money would keep me home. Hell no, bitch, I'm gone. I don't know what you lost your mind. Try to say my name, but I know your kind. Saying I'm a deadbeat, bitch, you lying. Fighting in court, man, I'm trying to be a father to my kids. She focus on the wrong shit, worried about another bitch instead of us co-parent. Put my kids in grown folks' business, telling them lies, bitch, you wicked. Split personality, oh yeah, you twisted. Never thought I'd go through this. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.